right, we are live and broadcasting here from FETC, and we don't know what's going on. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, my brother.
And I can hear you. It is Matt Joseph. Flew down out of Boston today, and we have.
Oh, the one and only Brett Salakis, all the way from Australia.
You don't have to look at me. You can look right here.
I can't look down there, but you're just there.
I know it. We're right across.
And I'm with the hardest working man in EdTech, Matty Joseph.
What is going on, everybody? So we're just going to kind of wing it here for the next couple hours. If you are here down at FETC, stop in. Feel free to grab us a drink back at the tables back there, and we're just going to kick this show off. And as we do in our profession, it took us about a half hour to get set up. We got crap all over the place. We were tested microphones. We were just trying to figure this out. We already have a comment. We have a comment from another country. Boom.
Well, we have a comment from a home country, not another country.
A different country than where we're sitting right now.
Well, we are. Okay, I'll give you that.
So, welcome everybody. Welcome to FETC. If you are anywhere in the area, swing down. We're going to be here for the next 2 hours. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear what you're doing at the event, the fun that you're having. The viewership is already kicking up. We didn't even know what we were going to do. We were like, you want to have fun with this? Let's get Jonathan's comment off of there. And I want you to see the sponsor right down there, Avid. Thank you for these. The noise canceling headphones are awesome. Big shout out. And I feel like I'm at a drive-through. I may be shouting. I don't know. They might hear me next door. So, Brett, as you have a sip of your Coca-Cola.
My lemon juice.
Lemon juice. As people are walking by, we're going to leave the guest spot open. If somebody shows up and wants to come in, we're going to interview them. We're going to talk to them. If not, it's going to be you and I for a couple hours. So for those of you who don't know me, and then I'm going to introduce you, my name is Matt Joseph. I am a district leader from up in Massachusetts. I'm going to be
the hardest working man in EdTech.
I'm going to be doing this for a couple days. We're going to be back here tomorrow night, and I'm going to be live for the next 3 days at FETC, as well as doing a few sessions as well. I'm a district leader from Massachusetts, a former principal, current district leader, and the CEO of X Factor and part of Codebreaker Inc. And all of this is coming together, and it's pretty exciting.
Well, my name is Brett Salakis. I'm maybe not the most hardworking man in EdTech. That's definitely a Matt Joseph title, but I am the handsomest man in EdTech.
Fair enough.
Undisputed. I ran a poll once.
Really? How many people voted?
Oh, look, it was an offline poll. Was it an offline poll just me? We're getting waves already.
We got waves. We might have guests already.
There we go. Could have our first guest. We're doing very good. We are live.
So we are live.
Would you like to sit down and be our first guest?
Do you recognize the face? Brandy.
Oh, I can't hear you. Sorry.
There we go.
You got to unmute her mic.
I'll tell you. There we go. Do you know what? You are live. No. You are live. Microphone is on. You are live. And you're on the camera already.
Look, short stuff here. Hey.
We have our first guest.
First guest just coming through. I am Brandy Bergeron with Bees Tech Buzz.
Oh, yes.
Caught him off guard.
You did, because we had a chance to meet and do the podcast and before, and you're local, right?
Yeah, just got in. So I'm so excited that y'all see the flare. Everything is just so awesome.
It is great. So yes, I did not recognize you, and I think that's going to happen over the next few days, where we meet people online. Yes. And then you come through, and I had that quick, I really don't know who this person is, and then as soon as you said it,
it's because he's rude. It's okay.
No, that is not true whatsoever.
Very rude. I heard up in Boston they are rude.
Well, Brandy, there's a saying for Massachusetts friends that I won't repeat.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what that means, but I'm just going to agree and believe
but
that
that's all right, because down here in Louisiana, it's all right.
That's deep South, Southern hospitality, all kindness, lots of love all the way from Australia.
All good.
You are our first guest. So, because you're our first guest, introduce yourself and tell us a little about yourself.
Hello, everybody. I'm Brandy Bergeron at Bees Tech Buzz is my Twitter handle. I am an academic technology coordinator for Episcopal School of Baton Rouge. Public school for many years, retired, and now I'm doing the EdTech coaching thing. Love it lots. Forever librarian. We'll always say that. So, yeah, I'm just getting down and settled and ready to learn lots of stuff. Monday is going to be slammed, y'all, but be sure to come see me Tuesday morning. We're going to talk about Discovery Education and Sesame Workshop and how they work together to do some great early childhood things. And then Wednesday afternoon, we're just going to do some little ed tech hacks and how I survived and make it work. And you're going to learn all about my failed it, and how I turned my failed it into a nailed it.
Awesome. This is exactly what we wanted. Someone to just roll in off the street, not really rolled in, but she's attending the event, talks about her session, and your Twitter handle was BS Tech Buzz.
At Beast Tech Buzz. That's me.
Beast Tech Buzz. So stop down. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming in. And are you staying here? Are you staying?
Yeah, we're right here. So if you're here and our weather gets wonkadoodle, you can cut through. Wonkadoodle. You can cut through the mall and get all the way to the convention center and never get wet.
I like it. All right.
There's all kind of, and please, I see you have something lovely to drink already. Be sure you find that king cake we were talking about.
Yes. So as the local, give us 3 recommendations.
Okay, so
or as many as you want. We have 2 hours to kill.
Like there's a different local New Orleanian and a local Baton Rouge girl. I come down and play in New Orleans for fun stuff like that. I don't fraternize it a whole lot. You cannot go wrong anywhere you eat in Louisiana. Well, South Louisiana. North Louisiana, that's a little different culture. But if you're
really, it sounds like fighting words.
No, it's just true. It's just true. The deeper south you are, the spicier the food. A little different hospitality, definitely a different slang down here versus up there. So you're a good places to eat. King cake, that's fighting words.
Now you have to unpack what king cake
I almost brought you a king cake. If they would have had
we're here. Look at this. What?
You can't come on. Go, Brett.
And it was
Team Matt versus Team Brett. Matt's already getting all the love. I'm not even able to ask a question.
Get used to it.
Come on. I had there's one of our local Baton Rouge places that has bourbon king cake, and literally it was soaked, but they sell out of them. And Sunday morning we weren't quite there yet with the bourbons. So,
all right. So since you are our first guest, you're kind of our test case here. Can you hear the 2 of us?
I'm hearing y'all right here.
That's what I'm saying. We have it not turned on the computer, but you can hear us talking to you. Mm-hmm. All right. And can you hear her, Brett? And I can as well.
I can hear, and it looks like we've got Jonathan on there. He's responding to some of the other questions that we've been asking before Brandy came on. So it looks like we're coming through live. Awesome. Brandy, I've got to ask you a question though, because
far away.
I can hear your accent, and I'm assuming you can hear mine.
I can definitely hear yours.
Yeah. However, so surprise, surprise, I'm not from around these parts.
I never guessed.
Yeah, I know. But you said king cake. You're talking it up. You're dropping the word bourbon, which is
free flowing. You are in the land of.
But you're going to have to unpack. I don't even know what is a king cake.
So king cake, king cake can be a very controversial thing. There are king cake contests. There are, it can get ugly. Different areas have different favorites. So basically.
Give me the Baton Rouge
I'm in
perspective.
New Orleans. Somebody just got what? Okay, so basically, king cake is a very large cinnamon roll.
But it's okay.
There we go. I like that.
It's filled. Sometimes it can be filled with the yummies like Bavarian cream and bourbon soaked.
Bourbon soap.
Soaked, like you soak it in bourbon.
Soaked.
Like you make it and then you just let it sit in bourbon and get all that happy for all of it. But then it's iced, and of course you're seeing all of those beautiful 3 colors that represent Mardi Gras. The purple, green.
There's your hat. Show off your hat.
See?
I've got my hat.
LSU colors.
There we go. What do the colors represent?
We're
getting a huge lesson right now.
This is cultural exchange.
It goes way back. The colors are, and it has to do with royalty. Yeah, you're royal now. Congratulations, a royal royalty. What? I'm not sure. I will let y'all decide.
Oh, royal. Yeah,
I'm struggling with the headset.
Amongst other things.
Yeah. So, but king cake, you'll see it. It'll be all around. It's really the good stuff. But it is very controversial as to who has the best king cake. New Orleans will have its best king cakes. Baton Rouge, each area will kind of have its finest. But there is
cinnamon.
several places down here that people will wait 2 and 3 hours in line to be able to get it.
Where's the go-to place if I want to try king cake? And I'm telling you now, I really do want to try it. Just even
I'm
from
sure
the
they're
description.
going to have it at the convention center, no doubt.
At the convention center.
It will be. You can't.
All right, here's what we're going to do. Anybody who wants to bring their king cake down here for free advertising,
the first person to bring me a king cake or even just bourbon,
unblur your background.
Will take. Oh, my background is blurry. I will unblur my background when I finish talking.
Front of you.
We'll get a copy of my book, and I might even have a something special for you as well.
Whoa, look at that.
Lots of
king
good stuff, y'all.
cake challenge.
All right, anybody wants to bring down a king cake, we'll have at it. Well, thank you so much for stopping. We're not kicking you out, but I don't want to hold you up either from this riffraff.
It will be lots. It's lots of people watching. If you have not figured that out yet, people watching is an actual hobby around here, especially for those that are not from here, just close to here.
And they're saying the same thing as they walk by, like, "Oh my God, look at these two up there trying to do something."
Two.
Yeah, they will.
Probably they're saying that about you.
I'm sure.
They're saying, "Who is that handsome devil over there? That Bostonian boy?"
With all the 3 different accents, for sure.
Well, we did too.
So
y'all have a great time.
Oh, thank you.
I'm hopefully catching y'all Monday. Tomorrow, if I don't catch y'all in DigiSit, I'm gonna have my feelings all hurt. I'm gonna be all of my feelings.
Okay.
Y'all have lots of good stuff.
You have a great time. Lovely to meet you, Brandy.
Y'all
nice
as
to meet you.
well.
Now I get to see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so we've had a text. Yeah, turn that off. We're getting good at that now. We're figuring this out.
That's
We're
good.
going to leave that window open for anyone who wants to come down, especially if you're bringing king cake. So we had a text that came through from your number one fan, Christine Bemis. I don't know if she's still live listening. Are you listening, Christine? I can send you a special message. Who knows? She probably can't figure out the phone, or she's on the bike. All right, well, I'll keep you posted if she doesn't. So that was pretty cool that we just have people popping on, and I totally did not know who it was until I saw her.
It was rude. You know what? That's
How
rude.
Is that rude? I had never seen her in person.
You know what? She's a fan. She's come out. She's come to see you. It's on your show. She's connected before. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you know how you just see people for the first time in real life, and I didn't put it together. So I own that. 0 for 1 for me. So
that's it. Although I must admit, there was clearly a lopsided love. If we're going to do Team Matt versus Team Brett today, I think it was a no-brainer. I think
so.
1-0 Team Matt.
All right. So Christine Bemis is on, as she was part of the Walking Ed and one of the original Voxer Group folks. I don't know if you wanted to send a special thank you to Christine, and if you want to jump on, Christine, let me know and I'll send you the link. So she's not talking to me. She is definitely teal.
Is it all right?
It is definitely all right. I think it looks great. I think it's perfect, and it fits you just.
Does it accentuate my eyes?
Always. Everything does.
Very good. Very good. And then I tell you what, I will say one thing. You know, our friendship goes a long way. I'm going to tell a little anecdote of our friendship, and then I want to tell. I want to tell the audience something about you, and it does have to do with EdTech, surprisingly enough. But the last time I saw young Matthew, we were that was just the okay for.
I got you.
What was her name? For that, Hannah.
Hannah. She was
just like the casino.
Oh,
that hurrah!
I don't
Close.
know. Okay.
Anyway, we were saying goodbye. I think we were in Texas.
We were in Austin.
We're in Austin, Texas. And I had lost my headphones, and my headphones had died, something like that. And I had the 20-odd hour flight back to Sydney. And Matthew Joseph, a guy who I had only met that trip, opens up his headphones. When still in the days when we had the string, the iPhone with the AirPods with the string, and gives me his headphones so that I can not have to sit in silence for the 20-odd hour flight home. But it meant you had to sit in silence for your flight home. But you know what? That showed your other person centeredness, your willingness to look after other people, look after your friends. It says a lot about you. And believe it or not, I had my wireless headset that I had brought, my wireless AirPods that I brought for the flight over. But I actually searched out. I'm looking at you and not looking at the screen. But I actually searched out, and I got the old wired ones that you gave me, and I brought them with me. One, maybe to give back and say thank you, but that's not actually what I brought them for. I was thinking, just in case, because 25-hour flight it was to come
Wow.
here.
So what is your
this
journey to
time
get
around.
here?
But I was worried that the AirPods wouldn't, the charge wouldn't last long enough in case I couldn't plug in and all that sort of stuff. So I brought the wired ones
Gotcha.
just in case.
So what's for those individuals who haven't met you really and seen your journey and all the great work you do, what was your journey to get here?
The physical journey to get here, literal.
Sure.
Well, let's begin with the literal journey. I know you did your introduction. The literal journey of here is I'm an educator from Australia, as you could probably tell from the accent. I've been working in schools for 26 years. I've done just about every role in a school that someone can do, from the beginning teacher to leading a school and to
Wow.
helping within everything, like yourself, Matthew. But the past few years, I've been working for the Department of Education in New South Wales, the state that I live in, and even just briefly this last year, been particularly developing a relationship with HP, Hewlett Packard, and really they've given me an avenue to full-time role. Become an advocate for digital pedagogy and digital practice. Like I'm able to go across Australia, and just recently scored a promotion, which
Sweet.
I'm looking after New Zealand now as well. So Australia and New Zealand, visiting schools, visiting systems, and helping ensure that when schools and when systems invest in hardware, that they're also making sure they put the appropriate support for professional development and strategy around that. So, look, very, very happy with the role. The literal flight here,
Sure.
I fly out of Sydney. I had a 15.5-hour flight direct to Dallas Fort Worth, which I believe at the moment is the longest long-haul flight in the world. That route from Sydney to Dallas.
I didn't think you would go that direction, but that was interesting.
15.5-hour direct flight, and I had a 5-hour layover. That had a flight got delayed with a few hours, so I ended up an 8-hour layover.
No way.
An 8-hour layover. So that rocked up to that ratcheted it up to what, about 20 odd hours.
Okay.
And before I even got on the flight to get here, so a few more hours as well. So 24 plus hours, 25 hours virtually to actually to get here. So no wonder my sleep it's been a little bit wonky since I have arrived.
Oh, well, I can tell. I mean, I had an hour and a half delay, and I was like, oh man, this travel here, it's like, that is a first world problem where I had to wait an extra 90 minutes. Still made it here on time. Still made it here for the show.
Oh, well, but unfortunately, just the plebs like me, we've got to go and coach. You travel in royalty, I know. First class, up the pointy end of it, linen sheets and canapes. And
linen sheets. No, I don't know about that.
Wow.
Mosaic, though, JetBlue, I got to give shout out to JetBlue. They're always good to me. And I'll have to give a shout out to JetBlue, free of charge for this one. Next one, feel free to give Brett an upgrade on his way back. I left my iPad on the flight. I was so urgent to get here. I was so excited to see you. I get a phone call, and they're like, well, and it's funny because my tickets are under my email, which is Dr. Matthew Joseph. So they're like, Dr. Joseph? And everyone's like, oh my God.
Dr. Joseph.
Are you saving lives?
Joe, calling Dr. Joe, Dr. Joe, Dr. Joe, where are you?
I never would pick up, but it said JetBlue on it. I was like, hello? And they're like, did you leave an iPad on here? And I was like, as much as I wanted to admit I didn't, I was like, I think so. Because I was fortunate enough to have the whole IRO to myself. And it looks like we have a few guests coming in as we speak. Coming through, we have...
Here they come.
So we have this set up. We got a whole crew
look
coming
at this. I'm getting a hug straight away.
We got a few Team Brett going on. We have gentlemen.
How are you?
So we're going to...
Hey.
This is great TV. Live hugs.
There we go. Live hugs. Hey, brother. You give me a hug too, man. Good. Hey, man.
We're on multiple cameras as well. Nice to see you.
Bro. Hey, how are you?
How are you? There he is.
Good.
So feel free to jump over there. We have this set up.
Come on here. Who's going to go up first? Oh, well.
Okay.
Well,
So
you got to
we're-
sit here. You can listen to me talk
so
as
we
much
got
as you
to
want.
kick up.
I'll say any of the fancy words you want me
So
to
we'll
say.
get the E-Twins on to kick up the international flair for you two. So I won't ask how you two earned your beads because it's a live educational show. So if you two just want to head there, the camera's live, the mic is on.
Oh, now I've heard that. Is that a myth or is that true?
We're not even going to talk about that right now.
Oh.
We're going to have these amazing educators on. So the way we have it hooked up, because we've been trying
You'll
to
love
figure it
him.
out,
All right.
the mic is live. You can hear us, right? Me? No. Just like
No,
talk.
don't worry about it.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, so we couldn't get. I had a splitter going on. So hey, anyone out there for ed tech want to give us a better splitter than I have? So I don't know.
Look at you, the hardest working in ed tech, even in his own podcast, still grinding, trying to get more sponsors. Can we get another?
Why not? Why not?
Can we get someone who stocks splitters to come down here and help Dr. Joseph? He needs a little bit of a hand with some of his pod setup or podcasting setup.
Well, we wanted to get some food too. What was that? King cakes. All right.
King cakes. We've already been told. Have you tried king cakes yet?
No yet.
Well, are those like with those colors, right? Like the yellow, green, and purple cakes?
I
That's
think
what
so.
I believe. That's
Yeah,
Yeah, I
we
tried.
had them like last time we were here.
Okay.
Oh,
so
very good.
They're
Very
right.
good. Very
So
good.
for our second guest and our first international guest, Preston is a guest.
Well,
Tell us a little-
first international. Oh, I guess I don't count as
You're
a
a
guest.
host.
Co-host. Co-host.
You're a host. You're the assistant to the host. Okay. So fellas, take it away, and you can just talk right through there, so that poor Brett hasn't figured that part out yet.
No,
But
that's
okay.
all right. That's all right. You know what? The people
This is-
know this is a professional outfit. The people know people watching from home understand
just
that I'm
winging
looking
it.
at the people next to me.
And literally, and guys, we'll get to you. I promise. We are literally over text, like, "Hey, dude, I'm gonna get in like around 2. Do you want to just do a live podcast from the lounge?"
Let's do it.
And we're like, "Okay." So this is how we're just winging it, having fun, and so take it away, guys.
Tell us a little
Tell us
bit.
who you
tell,
are.
tell us your
Oh.
story. Tell us your story. Go.
I'm
Yeah, so-
Alberto.
And I'm Mario. So we're from Spain, actually.
Hola.
Yeah. So we were here in the States for 8 years, and then we moved back to Spain. We were here as teachers. We were teachers for 8 years, 5th grade and 6th grade teachers, and then we decided to go on our own, and then move back home, and just start our own consulting firm.
And it's what we are doing right now, and we are loving it so much. We love to help educators, schools, institutions to transfer their practice and to prepare students or grown-ups for the future and for the present.
So tell us a little bit about whereabouts in Spain are you from?
Salamanca. It's
Salamanca.
west
West.
So
next to Portugal.
It's next to Portugal,
What's Salamanca famous for?
the oldest university in the world.
The oldest
Yes,
university in the world.
Yeah.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah.
What does your consultancy company specialize in? What's your
So we are doing. I'm going to talk to the mic.
yeah? Talk to them up.
Yeah.
Talk to them up.
Um,
See, look at that. You've only been here a few seconds and you're already doing it right. I haven't figured it out yet.
so we focus on. We always say like 3 different things. Digital transformation. It's very important to include technology. Pedagogy transformation, because technology is nothing if you don't support that with a good approach and good way to teach. And then the third one is cultural transformation, which means that you need to change the mindset of the faculty and administration to be able to make all of those changes. Because we always say that if you have 2 of those 3 aspects, but you don't have the 3 of them, it's not going to work. You need to have good digital transformation means that you have a good Wi-Fi, good devices, good everything, and then you have the right tools to be able to teach what you want to teach. Then you need to be able to know how to teach that, the right approach, the right pedagogy, and then the third one is to change the mindset. Change the mindset of faculty, change the mindset of administrations, and change the mindset of parents as well.
Like we always say that's like a holistic transformation. Like we add those 3 factors, X factors, to the
Look at that
You
segue.
like
Bonus points over there.
Bonus points.
Bonus points. So that is awesome. So for those of you watching out there, either live or on replay, make sure to follow them. If you do not, eTwins Twitter is below, and scrolling to the bottom is their website. So make sure to check them out. All the great work. I've had the pleasure. They also were in the intro.
Look at the skills that Matt Joseph has. That was very, very impressive, because I was actually just going to verbally ask, how do people get in contact with you? Where do they
Yeah.
go? And then the website's already scrolling around the bottom, the etwins.com.
There you go. So one of the things that was always impressed me that you do is you work here in America from Spain teaching the Spanish courses. Can you talk a little bit about that as well? Because I know you do some amazing work with Microsoft and Minecraft, but talk about the work you do intercontinental.
So we have two parts of our company. The first part is all that we talk about like the digital transformation, applying tech tools in the classroom like Minecraft that you just mentioned. But the other part of the company is a Spanish Academy. So we have courses from beginners to experts in Spanish. It's all online. We build the curriculum from scratch. We did it ourselves. And we had like a unique model that we follow. And we follow a flip model, which you learn the content before coming to the class. Then you come to a class with us or our facilitators, and you apply what you learn. And because we think it's the right way to learn a language, because sometimes you go to the class and all you do is memorize or learn the content, but you are not actually applying the content in a meaningful context or a meaningful situation. And that's what we do in our classes.
So that authentic connections, authentic conversation, rather than the rote learning, memorization.
Yeah, exactly. We were like, okay, so like why spend time or like waste time, because in our mind, like to our mind, is kind of waste your time, learning all of the rules, learning of all of the grammar. Like if you can do it, like in a previous session, right? Because like you don't need a teacher sometimes to be able to learn grammar or to be able to learn some rules. So just spend your time by yourself learning all of that with videos, with resources
that we
provide to you. And then when you come to the class, we're gonna focus on communicate. Actually, like a language, the languages were created to communicate, right? So that's where we should focus on communication, pretty much.
Awesome. It's just fascinating to see all these educators come together, come down here to FETC, the tracks that we have. We see our Atlanta-based Kristen Brooks is here as well. She's going to jump on. Jenna Lee, I know, is going to jump on as we continue. As people continue to just chat with each other.
There you go. I had to do a quick Google.
The Google.
What is the Google? What Spanish question?
Okay.
What is Liquor 43?
Licor 43.
Licor 43. It's a drink.
It's a drink.
Well, I know it's a drink.
It is a super sweet drink.
Super sweet drink.
Sweet.
Like, so if you don't want
to like a sweet drink, Matty Joseph.
Yeah, I can tell. Good thing we have
it's
one
very
king
dangerous because you wake up with a huge hangover because of the sweet of it. So you need to be careful. If you don't want to wake up with a huge hangover, you need to be careful with.
And that's like when you start drinking in Spain, we start drinking very soon. I'm not gonna say the age, because we are live and stuff, and it's not very appropriate. But we start very early, to drink. So like people who doesn't like the taste of alcohol, like they start drinking with Licor 43, is what you said, and people mix it with milkshake.
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 That's the common mix in
with strawberry milkshake or chocolate milkshake, and you put the 43 liquor.
That
and
Spanish milkshake brings all the girls to the yard.
Depends on the yard, but I could see that.
There you go.
It is awesome. It is
great.
great.
Now, that's the one question. The follow-up question is, how long until we taste test Liquor 43 as a cultural exchange between you two gents and us two here? Is that going to happen
Look
tonight?
who's working now.
We can do it tonight, even right now.
Do it live? Do we do it live on the show or do it afterwards, Matthew?
We'll do it after.
Show.
Yeah, we'll do it after.
We'll do it after.
The Coca-Cola and water we're drinking is perfectly fine, but
there you go.
Now, if the company wants to throw some money at the show, so that's
we can keep talking about them, right?
Yes.
For now, we'll call it like the mysterious drink until they pay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We can say the real name.
See,
that's it.
You
there
can
you
tell
go.
they
just like I'm drinking something in Coke, and whoever wants to sponsor this podcast, I might be drinking yours in Coke.
There you go. Well, we're taking after Ryan Reynolds. Like he's got the market on between him and Conor McGregor.
Aviator. Ryan Reynolds. Happy to switch to Aviator.
Aviator. Yeah, I watched that show. Welcome
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Wrexham. That
Welcome
was
to
a great show.
Wrexham. That's it.
So are
That's
you
it.
two going to jump on, and then we have
Yep.
our third guest?
There you go,
So
boys.
jump on in.
Thanks
Thank
for having.
you.
Oh, how
Thank
do we
you.
say? How do we say thank you? How do I say thank you in Espanol?
Gracias.
Gracias. I
Gracias.
should have known that. That's an obvious
Come on,
one.
I wasn't going to. Even I know
Gracias,
that. I know
boys.
like a
Gracias.
handful.
All
of
right.
words.
Thank you, guys.
Gracias. Thanks, guys. All right, so we have now.
Ooh, I'm excited.
They jumping on. All right, so when they jump on.
You go first. It's on your
Oh,
side.
Oh, hold on.
Don't-
How about I'll mute that for you for a moment while you get set. You go, Matthew. What were you saying?
So I'm just extremely excited to have the two of them here. They are one of my oldest friends, not by age, but by the amount of time I've known them in the space. And it's just super exciting to continue to collaborate with them. And I'm so proud of the work that they're doing. You're going to have a seat. You can fix that. Is that good for you? And you do know they have an amazing book, the Microsoft Teams Playbook. There it is.
It looks so good.
So sleek.
There it is. So, and Jenna Lee, their Twitter handle is down below. So, introduce us, tell us a little about yourself, and we'll get into the book and the sessions you have here.
Awesome. Well, I'm Jenny Long.
I'm Celie Clark,
And
and
we
we are Generally.
We are EdTech speakers, authors, bloggers, and we're actually innovation leaders with Castleberry ISD, which is in Fort Worth, Texas.
And we're super excited to be here at FETC this week. Okay, I don't even know how many sessions we have. I think it's like 14.
Lost count.
Hardest working group at FETC, we'll
There you
say.
go. There you go.
Wait, time out. We might have to take over this hashtag he's got running. Hardest working man in
I did-
EdTech.
He said
He
it.
said it. He said it. Okay.
No, we had a vote. It was official. It was authenticated. The votes were very, very clear. Matthew Joseph scored the title, the hardest working man in EdTech.
Oh, we could be women.
Absolutely.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Well,
'cause-
hold on.
Okay, okay.
And I
You-
wouldn't.
you-
I'm going to have to
You know
clarify
what
that.
title I was adorned with, don't you?
No.
The handsomest man in EdTech.
Oh, okay. Now
What
you're
they
going to be
say.
fighting
That's
Alberto
the word
for
on the
that one.
street. That's the word on the street.
I
Yeah.
did hear that
Hashtag-
last night on the street, on Canal Street.
There
I
you
did
go.
hear that.
Yeah, I was in Fort Worth a few days ago.
Oh.
Wow, in the
He was
Like
everywhere.
Wow.
We were too.
So
Well,
tell us a little bit about what you do and the book.
Celie and I have over 40 years of experience in education together. This is our 7th year working together. We were
Started
fortunate.
teaching when they were 5.
Yes,
Yes, we did. She has more years than me.
I'm old.
Oh.
You
Is
see
it
the
like
the
35
gray.
and 5?
Oh.
Just the split? All right,
He's
And
just
I'm
trying to
almost
make
on
up
my
for it
way
now.
out. But we just have loved working together. We were fortunate to move to a new district together this year. And we've always worked in a Microsoft district. And during COVID, we just embracing the experiences that our teachers and students were going through. We just have always wanted to write a book. So it gave us some material to write about. And in the book, there's over 70 lessons that you can apply into your classroom with different applications and programs and apps and tools. And we also write about our children.
We both have children with dyslexia. And so seeing EdTech tools in real life and using, all of the amazing innovations that Microsoft has implemented into their applications has been truly life-changing for us. And so being able to share their stories and how we've used technology and how they've used technology in the classroom is a passion of ours. And so we were super excited to get to write it and put it in print.
Yeah, and it's incredibly. What I really like about it is how practical it is. Sometimes, and what I've always been impressed with your work is that you could do this tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow because you're going to be doing a zillion sessions. But
We are doing it tomorrow.
if people come to your sessions when they leave FETC, they can implement it. And for me, as a former principal, that was always important that you would go somewhere, learn it, and put it into practice the next day. And I think that has always impressed me. And then the way that you're able to weave in and out of talking from teachers to administrators. So what is a message to administrators to bring this in? Some of the work you're doing.
Another piece that we're very passionate about is knowing our strengths. And that's kind of another avenue that we're moving into right now. And we've actually worked with administrators in that too. And in the book, we talk about knowing your student strengths and being able to, work with them. It's Mel. Hi, Mel.
Hey, Mel, what's going on?
Yay.
Nice to see you, Mel. So we have another country. I think Mel's from
Yeah.
South
No.
America.
Well, technically, She's from Australia.
I was going to say.
Well, where she currently is.
Columbia.
But she's in
Yeah.
Colombia.
We're
Yes,
building. We're
Yes.
boosting up the Aussie side of things here. And you know what? Mel's used one of the most Aussie words there is. Her first comment there in the comment sheet. Switch up to the one above what you've got highlighted there. Good arvo.
Arvo? What is
All right,
that?
tell us.
Good afternoon.
Say it
Good
again.
afternoon. Good arvo.
Avo.
Everything in Australia gets shortened
Oh.
with either usually like Bretto, do you know,
You know, Leo.
an O or an A at the beginning
Hello.
of things like McDonald's is Macca's.
Oh.
There you go.
All right, she's even got her flag up there now.
There we
Oh.
are.
There it is.
Thank
There it
you,
is.
Mel.
All right,
That's awesome.
Flying the Aussie
Sorry. I
flag.
want to be sallow. Okay.
so keep going. Keep going.
All right, so just knowing each other's strengths. Celie and I, and it's something that we've worked through in our relationship, is letting go of those jealousies and being able to just empower each other with the strengths and how we work best. And we've become much more effective and efficient in our work. And so we really love spreading that message to administrators as well, so they can work better with their staff and trickle that down to the classroom experience as well, because it makes a huge difference knowing your students, knowing their strengths, and being able to really personalize that instruction.
And I think with teachers, it actually, the way we share information with them and content with them, it came about very organically. We were working at a district that had about 25 schools at the time. We would go in and work with one teacher. We'd help them. And we'd go to another school, and another teacher had the exact same question that the other teacher had. So we were like, we have to figure out a way to streamline communication and share out answers to these commonly asked questions. So he's created a YouTube show, started sharing tutorials immediately that they could implement today or tomorrow. And that's how it kind of all began, is how do we share out information that's practical, that they can use and is helpful for the classroom.
And we have lots of principal. Sorry, let's say we
No,
have
no,
a couple
no,
really
go,
good
go.
principal friends and now we've moved to TikTok. So
Oh.
Celie is
Amazing.
on the
Yeah.
TikTok platform, but we have lots of principal friends that say, I just go through your stuff and I've learned this. And I know who we talked. Oh, it was Jamie that was saying like she used the WordTune.
Yeah.
Just we love sharing tips and tricks that even administrators and all the way down to students can use right away.
And we started using TikTok during COVID too, because as you know, we were inundated with webinars and we were watching like
all
hour-long
the time.
things. And so before I knew it, I was like, I'm done. I can't do another hour-long webinar. I might have to cover my eyes. So TikTok became a way to make tutorials in a minute, and it's just kind of stuck. They're fun. I also enjoy it for my own personal learning. Like I'll scroll through and learn, and then in the next video I'm laughing and having a good time. So I feel like it's a great way to balance that work-life time and learning.
Absolutely. And so we had talked a little bit about, I have their Twitter handles down below. I can't put up all the things that they do, so make sure to go to Twitter, check out all of their work. So under their bio, you can get to all of their socials. Well, this is what we do. We got to promote our folks. And as we said, they have this amazing book. And if you can get a copy, get it signed, make sure to check out the Expo booth Tuesday the 24th at 12:15. They'll be signing books. They'll be smiling. They'll be doing probably TikTok videos and everything.
Actually,
promoting.
we just finished one. It'll be posted in just a few minutes.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I like it. And as they said, they are doing a few sessions.
Just
You
a
ready
few.
for
What
this,
if-
Brett? Are you ready for this?
I'm ready to go. Oh,
That
the hardest
I
working.
mean, half of
man.
it's
They
cut
win.
off though.
They win.
Yeah, that's a rookie. That's a rookie error. I don't know. Showboating.
Well-
That's so American. So American showboating.
It's about
You're
like
supposed
how
to shorten it, remember, Matto?
there it is. That's what, like 10 things you got, Rock? Jen, where are you at? Jen, what,
We have 14, plus we have a couple booth sessions.
But time out. It's not just us in these sessions. We have amazing friends that we're presenting with, Alberto and Mario, and also Scott Bricker.
Yeah, so Scott, you have a fan, so you're going to have to jump in. Here's one of the
Oh,
comments.
Scotty.
Oh no,
Yes, we had.
Scotto.
Scotto,
So
Oh,
Mel,
Scotty.
Mel A.
Scotty.
Is that Scott in the background?
Was that
Yeah.
Scott look like him?
Oh.
So you are
Oh,
being
there we
called
go.
called to the show.
Yeah,
And
don't go too
So you
far
didn't get
because
to
I
say
have
our,
three questions. I've got
Okay.
some cultural questions about Texas I want to ask in a moment.
Okay, good.
So you go. We'll talk to Scott for a bit, and then you're coming back up.
How we doing, guys?
Scotty.
Happy Sunday. Hi, everybody.
how are you?
Fantastic.
So for those folks who just see you in the background, but now you're in the
Right.
forefront, tell us a little bit about yourself and the work that you're doing.
Absolutely. So my name is Scott Bricker. I'm an educator from Southern California. I've been a math teacher, a coach, showcase school leader, super active in the Microsoft Innovative Educator community, as well, a director of ed tech for a number of years. And a couple years ago, kind of converted to my own self-proclaimed educational change maker title. Have had a couple really significant incidents in my life where I just realized that I want education to be better. And so through the MIE expert community and Showcase School, coming to conferences and meeting folks like you just saw with the E-Twins, and generally just having amazing conversations. And my whole goal in life is to make education better, more exciting, more engaging, more fun. And I've got 2 young boys at home, and so heavily motivated by wanting to create schools that are really interactive and engaging for them.
I was going to say that whole line there about building that community. It's true. We are stronger together. Right?
Absolutely, Mel. And then Mel just posted that #Teacher Connections. I like it. We're on the ball.
Let's go for you,
Love
baby.
it.
Stronger together.
We love
I like
Mel.
it.
She's
I like
great.
it. All of that is really coming out in real time. The stronger together piece, the working together.
Yeah.
I see Manny here from
Absolutely.
Ed Puzzle. But as we stay with Scott, if you don't follow Scott, check out his Twitter handle below. Website is scrolling. For those who check out your website, some of the change policies, some of the work you do, share what someone could come away with or what they can go follow.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the biggest thing for me has been the focus on MBE, mind brain education. It's amazing to me how little in education we talk about the brain. I always use the analogy that you would never go to a mechanic, take your car to a mechanic with somebody who had never studied the engine. You would never go to a restaurant with a 5-star chef who had never studied food. And yet we constantly put students in rooms with teachers who have never studied the brain. And it handicaps us a little bit. It holds us back from doing the work that we need to do. So a lot of concentration on best practices around the latest research in neuroscience and mind-brain education, and really just best practices in leadership and how to create a real student-centered classroom. And I think that's what I love about being part of this group and the fact that we all came together. We've kind of formed this global collaborative called 5 for Learning. It's a partnership, and you guys mentioned it, the community, right? As we've had these conversations over the years, just realizing how interconnected all of our ideas are and how one supports the other, supports the next. And that's how we kind of came up with this package of 12, 13, 47, whatever sessions we said we're doing this week.
That's quite a bit.
Super excited to share, work with these folks, learn from them, and just honored to be kind of in their presence and learn as much from them as they hopefully can learn from me.
Awesome. And
now I'm going to ask the girls in a moment a question about accessibility, because I know accessibility is such a key part of what they're talking about. But you've talked a lot about collaboration and community. Without, obviously, you've got so many sessions. Without giving away any of your gold dust,
sure.
What's one of the tips for the people who are listening to this live stream? What's one of your go-to collaborative community building? What do you lean on? What tool do you recommend for people who are trying to either incorporate collaboration into their classroom or trying to connect in with community?
Yeah, I think for me, it's still Twitter. And whether you bring that into the classroom with your students, I know there's a lot of conversation around how much social media do we expose our students to, but certainly as a faculty, it's very easy just to get bogged down with what you do in your own building, maybe even in your own classroom. Sometimes we have teachers that struggle to even think outside their own room. So I think for me that the collaborative piece is really exposing yourself to the global experience of educators on Twitter. And relationships like these, like a lot of these relationships started in social media. You know, it's really learning from others and realizing that you don't have all the answers.
Well, and it's amazing that our first guest was actually somebody who I met just through doing the podcast and coming on and doing some great things. And as Scott mentioned, besides some of the work he's doing, he is packed here. Here's his schedule.
Again, same with all this group. It's all the 5 of us balancing these together.
What did you call it? The 5 for fighting?
5 for learning.
5 for learning.
5 for fighting. Great 80s and 90s band. Love their music.
Yeah.
No, we're 5 for learning.
And the other thing that's happening, and I know, Brett, you're trying to get a word in here, but what I love about just coming and doing some things, we're having like a side conversation in the chat with Jonathan from Australia and Mel from South America.
Aussies representing, brother.
There it is.
We aim high. We're a little country. We got to step up. We got to have big voices get on the world stage.
I like it. So you had a couple questions.
No, I
and then
was going to say, you mentioned one word very, very quickly, a throwaway. I knew what you were talking about, but this is hashtag not a sponsor. We're going to talk about Microsoft. You mentioned
Yes.
the MIE community.
Yep.
And for those people, for the uninitiated who don't know what MIE or MIE community
Sure.
is, like we're all talking the same language here. I know the acronym, but if you're dialing in and we're talking about community and you are someone who is not a sponsor, Microsoft, if you are in the Microsoft, but we're looking for sponsors, right?
go for it. No, this
Yeah,
micro.
if Microsoft are interested,
Absolutely.
Please call.
but what is MIE? What's it stand for? What's it mean? What did you get out of it?
Yeah, so Microsoft Innovative Educator. The brand is shifting a little bit to Microsoft Educator, and then MIE Expert is like the group of, it's about 700 to 800 educators from around the U.S. It's a global community.
It's global.
Yeah, it absolutely is. But in the U.S.,
Australians
it's about
are
700 or 800. Big in Australia, big in Europe. It's a very powerful community. But it's basically a group of educators. You have to apply to get in. You have to show that you're using tools like OneNote and Teams and the accessibility tools and all those things to really improve the student experience in the classroom. So it's about learning from them, realizing you think you know OneNote, and then you hear about OneNote breakouts, or you hear about the OneNote class notebook toolbar, or dictation, immersive reader, those kinds of things. And it really just it's a mind-blowing way to learn from others who are using these tools in the classroom.
So good.
We can have great ideas, and I could pop on your page and think of 7 things that I never would have thought of, that you're doing amazing things, and now I bring them in to my classroom. There's no reason we have to keep that private. We should share that with the world, and the community is absolutely all about that.
And I definitely was not someone in the Microsoft ecosystem for a long time, as the ladies know. But they, reading their book and seeing the work that they do, and seeing how device agnostic it can be, and then going to a Microsoft district, and then having a chance to meet Stephen Reed at Nightscape.
We love Stephen. Phenomenal.
And then having a chance, our most recent author is a Microsoft guru at one point. So she published her book. Microsoft was behind it, actually, and some of the work she does with Minecraft. So it's definitely a world that I've started to enter into as well. So shout out to Namia over in India. We got to bring all sorts of people involved as well. And so we totally appreciate that. We got a couple.
The crowd is growing.
It's growing.
I recognize that beard that just walked over.
Is he from Canva? Okay.
Yes.
So we'd love to grab a couple other people to have them jump on.
Please do. Thanks you guys very much. Appreciate having you on.
Thanks,
Matt.
Thanks for jumping on.
Absolutely happy to do it.
Or Canvas.
Oh, yes. Get your companies right if you're going to be fishing for sponsorship.
I know it. Hey, Manny, you jumping on? Oh well, they're so.
How about we have the Texas girls? Oh, hold on.
Oh, they went back.
Oh, they're ready? All right. We on? Yeah.
You're back on.
I just am so excited to read this book.
You guys have book.
I'm so excited.
It feels great too.
Can't wait.
Okay.
So, what were the questions you were going to ask?
So I have 3 questions.
Okay.
They start serious and they become less serious as we go. So 3 questions. And Manny, you're going to be up next in a minute, right, brother?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah, you're up.
Where am I?
All right.
Where am I, Aaron? What do I
There we
do?
go. Very good. Hold on. So first question, I know accessibility is at the core of a lot of what you do, and I know how important that is. You spoke before about both of you having children who have dyslexia. I just asked Stephen a moment before, what was the tool or what was the format that was very important for community, for yourselves, if you had to recommend something for someone who wanted to enhance accessibility in their teaching practice? What would you recommend? What's a good way to start?
We could say it on the count of 3 because I know we're thinking the same thing. 1, 2, 3. Immersive reader.
I guess they're not. Good thing it's a live show.
It's in OneNote though. So
Immersive
Just read
reader.
the book. Find the book. Just go into the book. You'll find it. There's so many tools there.
All right, how about we unpack both? Why is OneNote so good for accessibility?
Oh, okay, good. Okay.
OneNote
Well,
just has it all in there. You have
yes.
dictation, you have immersive reader, you have math tools, you have
You have
everything.
inking. You have translation. It really is the ultimate tool. But for sure, immersive reader. The thing that we do love about Microsoft too is all of it is like embedded in their app, so you don't have to go here or go there or add this extension. It's all built in. It's 100%
Seamless.
free. It's non-stigmatizing.
Integrated is important, right?
Yeah.
Critical. And we have
I saw it, Julia. But immersive reader, unpack what immersive reader is.
Oh, so immersive reader takes your text and removes all the distractors, and then gives it to you in any way that you would like to have it read. You can change the voice, male or
Can
female.
I have mine Australian?
You can
You
actually.
can, yeah.
My Siri talks to me in Australian. It's really nice.
Because you know what they say, sexiest accent at FETC.
We've had a lot of just off the cuff polls here.
Off the cuff polls. I just read a quick poll. Sexiest accent at FETC.
I agree.
You heard it here. You heard it.
Close.
First.
Spanish accent was second.
Yeah.
I was thinking Texan. I mean, we have accents.
I do love a southern accent. Just careful. You watch out. Watch out.
Saying.
Boston is not in there.
Ugh.
Awesome. So we got a couple
Wicked.
more friends.
Wicked.
We got team Brett here. We got
Oh,
Mandy
you know, that means I'm going to come back for those more salacious questions later on in the
Brett's
evening.
gonna have a one-on-one.
They're going to get naughtier and naughtier.
Okay, no, it's not.
Who's up? All above the belt.
Okay, well, that doesn't make it better, but that's okay. So jump on in. We have one of our amazing guests who will be part of the DigSit Summit tomorrow.
Woo.
Yeah.
Now come into
So
watch
that's
out
on.
because that mic is live
Oh,
straight
okay.
away.
Yeah, got it.
All right, so for those folks, Manny is signing autographs. I don't know what he's doing.
Now, Julie,
I'm
watch
what
it
do I
because
like?
you're next up.
Here we are.
Which camera? Where's my camera?
The one that's in front of you. So for those guests who are watching, viewing, we continue our international flavor, by the way. So tell us who you are, what you do, and your role in the space.
Okay, so I'm Eugenia Tamez from Monterrey, Mexico, and I work at the Digital Citizenship Institute. And I bring all these conversations about using tech for good to Latin American countries and Spanish-speaking communities. Tomorrow, we're going to have an amazing event called DigSit Academy, in which different stakeholders, educators, and tech tools are coming together to use tech for good.
I like it. And I just sent your picture to Mary Alice, who landed, so she'll be here in a little bit. So
And DI is going to have a lot of sessions. And
Annie has a fan. I mean, we got this going on here.
So many.
Yes. So I'm Manny. We just work for Puzzle.
Oh, you can do better than that. Come on.
Okay. So
You do
you're
amazing
bilingual,
work.
you're bilingual too.
fancy title is Global Community Manager. It just means I talk to a lot of people. That's it. That's all it is. So yeah, I'm originally from Guadalajara, Mexico. Yay.
Monterrey and Guadalajara.
Monterrey,
In the
Guadalajara.
house.
The international flavor
Yeah,
just
so I'm
continues.
Yep.
This is a bilingual podcast just about this one.
I guess this is global.
This is almost a bilingual podcast. We've had Espanol coming left, right, and
Yes,
center.
both types of Spanish, Castilian and Espanol.
Oh, you got to tell me more about that.
But when I went to Barcelona, it's not the same Spanish.
Nope.
No, I thought it was, but it was not. I was like, wait, what?
So what does that
Is
mean?
that because they're in Catalonia?
In Catalonia, yeah, this is Castilian, Castellano,
Yeah, see, Catalonia. I
In
know
Catalan.
my Spanish history.
in Catalan. It's like abbreviated, so it's shorter. Sometimes I understand what they're saying, and sometimes I don't. Especially when my boss is talking really fast, I'm like, I lost you. I lost you. But it's hilarious. Yeah, different Spanish, but both amazing.
I like it. So what are some of the things that you're going to talk about tomorrow afternoon?
Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to talk about different edtech tools and different projects that they can come all together to engage students and educators to bring digital citizenship into your school community, into your classroom, with your students, and even with the complete community, like having all the families involved. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow at the DigSit Academy.
I like it. It's super exciting. And I wasn't involved, and then I met Mary Alice, and then the next thing, I joined this amazing team.
Yeah.
Look at all the amazing people that are going to be part of this tomorrow. So come on down. You heard already
wow.
from Jenna Lee. You also are now hearing Manny, who's on there as well. And you're going to have to pronounce
Eugenia. Eugenia.
okay. It's hard enough with the headphones on.
I think that we're gonna have a session just
How to pronounce
how
it.
to pronounce my name. Yeah.
Absolutely. So check out all
It's
of
okay. He's very rude with that stuff.
No, how did that become rude? You go for
Rude.
it. You
No,
try.
no.
Exactly.
I refuse to incriminate myself.
Also, if you want to see the Digit books, you're going to see this great session. This is at your booth, right, Manny?
Yes.
Look at that. So talk a little bit about this.
So we're gonna have a big, huge booth with a big, huge screen, and we're like, what are we gonna do? I'm like, ooh, let's find some friends about how they use Edpuzzle in their classrooms and what spin do they put, you know? And so we just contacted a whole bunch of people that are coming to the booth. We may have some sweepstakes, because I can't say the actual word. I know other people. We are going to be giving away stuff.
King cakes?
King cakes.
Close, right? Yeah, there's sweepstakes happening that you can come and register, but it's literally about giving teachers idea and how to use that puzzle in the classroom, and not just that puzzle. It's like video learning and how do you flip it and make it more engaging for kids. Because
Awesome.
nobody wants a boring classroom.
Never.
No.
Not at all. So that is extremely exciting. And what else are you hoping to come away with? You know, a lot of people come and they're going to talk about the sessions they're doing. What do the two of you want to come away with? Besides a great live podcast.
Okay, yeah. So you're gonna if you're attending the Cheat Academy, you can take like a lesson plan or something that you can put into action at your classroom right away. So you are gonna have like these all stations with projects, with EdTech tools that they are gonna show you how you can embed it into your curriculum or into your program, and then you can just take a step forward and have a lesson plan and do it right away during our session and take it into action.
Wow. So I'm just joining as a listener because that's just amazing. I can't wait to see that. I'm privileged to be a part of the group tomorrow afternoon. I can't wait to learn from you. We're actually do some of this tomorrow to get some testimonials and hear some of the great work because I'm a latecomer. I wasn't at all on that poster. I was doing nothing until I met Mary Alice at Nightscape, and she's like, give that a try. And I was like, okay.
Mary Alice.
Mary Alice, yep.
The glue that binds
She'll be
everybody.
there soon. She's starting in.
The point person for all the group.
Yeah, so we look forward to it tomorrow. Thank you for both jumping on. You got beads. We're going to have to get beads somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to try it. All right,
Thank
brilliant.
you.
Thanks so much.
We'll see you
I
at
think the
booth.
guests just keep on coming.
Yes, keep rolling. How we doing?
Hey, how's John?
Hey, brother. You jump on in a moment. We got more accents coming.
Amy Bloom
More
is calling
accents
in.
coming. Calling in.
Hey, Amy, you're on live TV right now. Yeah, we're at the Hilton. So Amy Bloom is on the phone. Come on in. You are live on our podcast
Amy,
right now.
I've been waiting to meet you.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Here's
All right,
my
so-
lunch date. I'm with my lunch date.
I see a possible sponsor in the background too.
Is this
Whoa,
another
Scott
one?
Sirius
Sorry?
over here.
Is this a different one?
No, this is the same one. It's the same one.
I thought you had a whole set.
Miss Wilcock from Maine, how are you, my friend?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I tell you what do you want to introduce yourself to the audience, my friend?
All right. So I'm Julie Wilcott. I work as Education Products Manager for a company called Z-Space. We're a screen-based virtual reality solution, hardware, software. I'm excited to be at FETC to see what's happening in that space, to see what other people are doing with virtual reality and things like the metaverse. My background is as a teacher. I spent 20 years in the classroom, mostly teaching chemistry and physics. So
And you're from Maine, right?
I'm from Maine. Did I
All
forget
right,
to
Andy
tell you
Walls will
that
be
part?
extremely happy.
Yeah,
You got
there
a
you
Maine
go.
representative.
Oh, is Andy here?
He will be. He will be
here
later.
Tuesday. He'll be Tuesday.
Oh, hopefully there's a big storm coming, so I snuck out fast before the storm hit.
Well, did you? Let's be honest. Did you sneak out early because you wanted to avoid the storm, or did you sneak in early because you wanted to keep the lunch date with a handsome Australian fella?
All right, now everybody knows the true story. It's really going to be 45 and sunny there tomorrow. Don't
Okay.
give it away.
Perfect. Well, you can't
Celsius.
pass up a night with Brett hanging out, having fun.
Now, what do we have for lunch? You
Oh.
educated me.
Brett learned
In
about
Americana.
something new. We went to a place called Turkey
Oh,
on the
today.
Look. Yes.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a famous
Tell me
We
that.
already had
chef.
that today, baby.
Oh yeah. And Brett learned about bologna, including how to pronounce it.
It's Bologna, but phonetically it is spelled Bologna. I'm not sure how you get the pronunciation of bologna.
Okay.
And I learned if I ever wanted bologna, which I really don't, but if I ever wanted it and I was in Australia, I would order Devon.
Yeah, we
Devon?
actually, Devon. We have the same. We actually have the same thing called Devon. All these years of watching American TV shows, and bologna sandwich is what we would call a Devon sandwich. But I
Okay.
had the most American sandwich I've ever had in my life. It was about 2 inches thick. It had mayonnaise and melted cheese and fried
Potato
bologna.
Oh, I'm so glad I get to
potato
share a
chips.
room with you.
Oh yeah, you watch out. Yeah,
In
we
one-
are bunking up. We are bunking up together tonight. Watch
In
out.
one king bed is even better.
Please snuggle in and keep me warm on this cold New Orleans night.
Whatever it takes. That's awesome.
You never know what you're going to learn on this podcast.
You
It's
never
very
know.
Never
So
know.
we're psyched that you came down for sure.
There you go.
All
Very,
right.
very good.
So
We look
Ready
forward. And what are the sessions? Are you?
So I'm doing a session on Wednesday afternoon at 2:00 called Virtual Reality, Amazing Race Virtual Reality Style. Mostly I'm here to learn. I'm here to see what's happening in the exhibit hall and attend sessions. So, but Z Space does have a booth. That will be in the exhibit hall the whole time.
Awesome. Well, make sure to check that. Do you happen to know the number?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, check it out. Z Space. There's maybe 1 or 2 vendors there. You can't miss it.
When you go to the vendor list, you just go all the way to the bottom.
Go to
It'll
the-
be the last one on the list.
All right. Well, thank you. Thanks for stopping in. You're part
Sure.
of the first initial ever live broadcast
great.
from FETC.
Second one tomorrow afternoon.
Tomorrow
and there's
afternoon.
one tomorrow too,
Tomorrow
right?
Well,
afternoon.
tomorrow, Arvo.
That was up in the air because we didn't know if we were just going to get kicked out.
No, it's.
I literally was like, "You want to just do this when I get there?" And he's like, "Sure." And here
We
we
did
go.
have security. We had
There was
security
a guy
behind us.
back
He was ready to move us on. The phone calls were being made.
But
But
then we
we
look
were on
harmless.
the moment.
We're
That
pretty harmless.
your
That's
boyish
great.
charm, that little smile, that little wink, hardest working man in ed tech. There's no way they could move you on, baby.
No. So, well,
You
thanks
look
for
very
jumping on.
professional.
Well,
All
thank
right.
you. We have a
Thank you.
Massachusetts folk. Bonnie, you going
somebody-
to jump on? If not, that's okay. You're coming on. I know tomorrow. We have your friend Moat from Moat.
Yeah, we've got a friend from we've got Moat coming on. Do you want to come on now? Come on straight
Yeah,
away.
we have 2. Are you one of
Oh,
2
hold on.
people?
Oh,
that-
hold- Yeah,
yeah, they've been waiting and watching. I didn't
come
know if
on
they were
in.
just
Come on up.
making fun of us or they were
No,
going to
no,
watch.
no.
Come on in. I love just walk-ins. Well, that's
Now
what
watch
I thought.
out when you walk up because the microphone is already live.
Thanks for the microphone is live.
How we doing? How we doing? No, that's all right. That's all right. I'm doing good. I need the hugs because this warm-blooded Aussie. Oh,
he's getting it.
Kiss as well as nights
get
early.
walking gas
Nights early.
and hugs. I got nothing. I thought they were
Yeah,
making
that's
fun
it.
of us. We got products and everything.
New robot. Yeah, we're
No.
launching at FETC the new robot.
This is Anzac. This is the Anzac specialty over here. This is the where
Is the mic
Anzac
on? 'Cause
proud.
I couldn't hear him. Is the mic on?
No. This is Kai.
Is the mic on?
This is Kyle.
There it is. Okay, 'cause I couldn't hear you. So you're just gonna have to get a little closer.
Oh, the mic is on. That's what you said. Yes,
Yeah.
it took me a little
All right.
while to decipher your accent
So
then as well.
I initially thought the 2 of you were just watching us and mocking us because we're just
No.
saying
These are from. This is all the way from New Zealand.
New Zealand.
no way. This international show just got better. Go ahead, take it.
Anzac proud.
If you want to show it, show whatever you got going
Hey,
on
yo.
over there.
Yeah. So this is our little coding robot called KaiBot, designed and made in New Zealand, and it's a screen-free. It's a very inclusive robot, so it can scan coding cards. I think we've got some there, and it can
Sweet.
also scan Braille cards. So kids that can't even see to learn to code, they can do that as well.
Oh, I have my Codebreaker shirt on and everything. Look at that.
So we've got all these little coding cards. Good.
Do you have a Twitter or a email? I can throw all that up.
At Kai's Education. Oh, at Kai's Education. At Kai's Education.
Yeah, Kai's education.
Just at Kai's Education, yeah, or at
Yeah,
Kai's Clan.
we'll be on
All
stand.
right.
What's
Yeah.
that?
I'll show you.
All right, help me out, man.
What's
At
Okay,
K
so
K
KAIS Education, or you can just go Kai _
Kai's
Clan. Yeah.
All right, we'll find it while you. All right, perfect. Keep going.
Okay. So we just won the AI Smart Toy Award from the World Economic Forum and the Dubai Futures Group, which they're going to put in the Museum of the Future, which is really, really exciting. And the unique thing about all the Kai's Education robots is that we blend the physical robot with a virtual world.
Sweet.
So we always have, like KaiBot, Kai's Clan. We have the physical robot that will drive either on a Mars mat, or for this robot, we've got magnetic tiles. And then you can go and see it in the virtual world. So the difference between really Kai's Clan is probably for the older kids, maybe 8 years plus. And that's a STEM toolbox. So we have AR and VR. We've got over 100 lesson plans. It's IoT.
These are good.
So it's a really, really good little robot that you can read all the data. And then KaiBot's a hybrid robot. So like Bruce was saying, we use screen-free coding cards. You tap each card just like barcode when you go shopping. And then it will play out the sequence that you coded. However, the unique thing is that this is probably the first robot that will show you when you've made a mistake. So it's a
No way.
debugging
I need that.
system.
Debug your code for you.
So it will really help the kids. And this is from K to 12. So really when kids or teachers has never coded, this is that first step on the step ladder. And then they can go all the way, because these coding cards actually gets converted into Python and Blockly when you're in the virtual world.
Wow. So as you were talking and listening, Brett, help me out find some of your resources. So for those who don't know, like me, it's the first time I've heard about it. Say it again for me, Kai's.
Kai's
Kai's Clan. Check that out.
Like I, but with a K, like I, but with a K, Kai.
Now,
All right,
in
so
New Zealand,
I'll
Kai
never
is
forget that.
food.
Ooh, I like some food.
Yeah,
so Kai's Clan, check it out. Website's down below. When you go to the website, one of the things I saw, and I'd love for you to talk me through this, big screen, a place where student engagement and learning becomes one. How did you come up and with that, and what are some of those little insignias works with?
So when we start wanting to teach kids to really learn how to code, a lot of robots, you sort of got your own little robot and then you code it, and that's sort of that single experience. But for us, it's all about collaboration. So all of our projects, you have 3 or 4 kids that actually work on a project. So one kid may be going to do the robot avatars. So creating a robot avatar, you would use Minecraft or Tinkercad, and you may be a creeper or you may be Steve, and that is your robot that you now actually code on the Mars mat or an Amazon warehouse or something like that. So we really wanted kids to learn how to code,
but collaboratively, all together. We're all doing a mission together, a Mars mission together, or a autonomous, Amazon warehouse delivery system. So we've got different mats for that and virtual environments that go over the top of it.
And the fun sort of just become one, where with the new robot on KaiBot, we really wanted to focus on maths and social emotional learning and literacy. So with maths, we've actually got an author, Rudy Neufeld from Canada. He's just written a 300-page book for us on KaiBot with lesson plans and activities. Wow. So yeah, if you've tried like a VBot, KaiBot's the next best thing that's now out there.
I tell you now, I've been aware of Kai's Clan for a fair little while now, and I remember doing my homework on you all a few months back. It is legitimately they're bringing gold, and I tell you one thing I can say, not just about Kai's Clan, but about people from New Zealand in general. If ever
you can talk about the whole country right now.
This is actually but in all seriousness, in my experience, particularly within the education technology space or any sort of startup, New Zealand
there is a lot of gold that comes out of New Zealand. If I think part of the secret of New Zealand's success, because New Zealand punches so far above its weight internationally, I think because your market is naturally so small, whenever we have a startup, whenever we have a new company or a new thought or a new concept that needs to evolve, it can't just be New Zealand centric for it to be successful. It has to be immediately globally scalable for it to be a viable idea. So the ideas that come out of New Zealand, if you hear of a startup coming out of New Zealand, and I see you nodding because I think you're in agreement, the things that are coming out of New Zealand, because they have to be so well thought through and globally applicable from their inception, they are very, very adaptable for multiple countries, for multiple users. Things that come out of New Zealand, make sure if you're ever at a conference or you're ever checking something out and you hear that the idea's origin is New Zealand, give yourself an extra moment just to do a little bit more research about that. And Kai's Clan is a really, really good example of that exact case.
That's awesome. And if you have not heard of Kai's Clan, as I did not, they are at booth 3416 tomorrow. Make sure to check them out. Are you going to starting? I think the vendor hall opens tomorrow afternoon, and then throughout the session. Now, here's the real question: who had a longer trip, you or Brett?
Where did you fly into, Brett?
Yeah.
Hello.
Gloves thrown. Go.
I mean, so we did Auckland, LA, and then Austin, and then New Orleans.
Last time I checked, I don't know. Last time I checked, Sydney is a little bit further west of America than Auckland is.
That is true.
I'm not an expert on geography, but I'm pretty sure you're to the east of us.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
All right.
We went the same direction, except I had my stopover in Dallas. So you went for the softer option and going to LA first. We understand Australia and New Zealand. Australia and New Zealand. And Zach, that we have a lot of love. We have a lot of love for each other. But there's one thing I'm going to give you. I'm going to educate you.
Thank you. I need that from you.
On some Anzac customs and culture. We absolutely love each other. Australia and New Zealand, we absolutely love each other. But the more you love someone in Australia and New Zealand, the harder you are on them. That's how you show your love. I would never be disrespectful to someone that I don't like. Someone I don't like, I'll be very, very
Is that why
polite.
you curse at me every day?
I love like I do to you. The more I give you a hard time, the more, if you have an Australian that gives you a hard time, that ribs you and pokes fun, that's how we show love.
Okay,
that is how we show love.
I just think it's because the rugby, we're so good at, the All Blacks is really the number one team in the world.
Yeah,
This is getting real right here. This is getting real.
It comes down to rugby.
Go the Wallabies. This is the Wallabies year. The All Blacks. All Blacks will do what they always do. They'll have 3 really, really good years, and then when it comes to World Cup, the All Blacks always fall short.
Oh no, we can't have an international war here. Like they come on to show their great products. Put it up again. There it is.
All right, the distance between Australia and New Zealand would be probably the width of Texas. The width of Texas. So the east coast of Australia, you'd have probably a few hours flight to go from a couple of hours to go from Australia over towards the east to go over to New Zealand. 2 islands on New Zealand, or 2 main islands. North has all the volcanoes, and the south is just bloody cold.
Yeah, I think we have 55 volcanoes in Auckland where we live.
Wow!
Actually, I'm going to be in Auckland. I'm going to be in Auckland in March. So let's make sure we connect, because I'm going to be in New Zealand for a big chunk of March. So let's meet and talk.
That sounds fantastic. Thank you very
much.
Awesome.
Thank you. I'm going to get to my car.
Yours. Take some things as well. I brought that down. one of those we can sort something out later as well.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Very good. No worries. Take some stickers too. Have some fun. All right, there we are. Matthew, I am loving this podcast. It's nice. It's
I don't even know if it's a podcast. It's us just broadcasting, talking to people.
Broadcasting. This is just Maddie and Brett having fun with their friends.
Did we lose Bonnie? Did we lose her? We have some people in pink shirts. I don't know if they're part of FETC or
I
not.
think the beard is. Is that Mr. Canva?
I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know, but we'll go get them over here.
I'm going to Google.
Oh, boy. Here they come.
Here we go.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Here
dear
they
me. This is trouble.
Here comes trouble.
The Bills, huh?
Yeah.
The Bills are playing too.
I promise we
go.
won't mention one thing about the
No
Cincinnati
Bills.
Bengals. Okay.
No.
How you doing?
Hi, I'm Deanne. We are in mourning right now.
Okay. The camera's
Hi.
on.
Oh, the camera's on.
So who do we have
Hi.
today?
I'm Deanne Polian.
Amy Bloom. We're kind of upset right now. We didn't realize we are going to be on camera.
Well, this is how we roll.
Gonna wipe those tears away, hey?
So we won't talk about the
We
game.
won't talk about
No
Jamar. We won't talk about the Bengals.
Or we won't
I'm
talk
wearing a
about the
Tigers jersey, although not the Australian Tigers, not the Bengal Tigers.
or the nachos that you didn't get.
No, we did get nachos.
Oh, okay. But what we can
She
talk
ate
about
them
is the
all.
great
I did.
work that you do in education. So tell us who you are in the work you do in education. Now that we've thrusted you into the live broadcast.
I'm Amy Bloom. I am the coordinator of instructional technology for Erie One BOCES. I oversee all the technology for the CTE, which is career and technical education, as well as special education.
I'm Deanne Polian. I don't have as many titles, but
Do you have one?
I do. I am a technology integrator for a district in Western New York, and before that, I was a secondary ELA teacher. So yeah, that's my thing.
We're kind of caught off guard because we're mourning the Bills right now.
Yeah,
So you
super
need
mourning the
to,
Bills right now.
yes, be patient with us in our time of need.
That's okay. So one of the things I will say is that I'm always impressed when I see you in your session with how much you just go all in. So the last session I saw, we sadly had it at the same time at Nightscape, but I walked by your room and I thought that the Toys R Us was going out of out of business, and you're like, if you need to put your stuff somewhere, just put it in our session.
Yeah.
So for those who have not experienced an amazing session with the two of you, talk us through what that looks like and how it works.
We have two sessions
Yes.
together. One is e-robots. It's elementary focused robots, and it's really just a play session.
It really is more of a play shop than I
yeah.
would say a workshop. You
Yeah.
come, you learn about how to implement coding into the everyday elementary classroom.
And you
but
have
it's
a chance to play.
Yeah,
which
you don't
is
listen to
what
us
we never
talk the
have a
whole
chance
time,
to. No, we don't.
because
talk
that's not
at all.
fun.
We just say, "Hey, here's our robots. Go play," because teachers need to play. Otherwise, they don't know how to use the robots, and they're scared of them. And so it's super exciting to have the opportunity to share the robots.
And I always like that you are having just as much fun.
Oh,
as the
exactly. Yeah,
participant.
we're playing along with them. It's all about the playing and learning, or the flirting. That's why I say it's more
Flirting,
of
I
a play
like it.
shop.
She's a dork.
I am such a dork.
And is that your Wednesday session?
That is
Yeah,
that.
it is.
All right, so
And
it-
that's funny that he knows that night.
I know, and we don't even have it together. But
All right,
yeah,
so check it out Wednesday. Here they are, the two of them jumping in. What's it? Cobots? Is it called?
It's
E-robots.
E-robots. I like
elementary
it. All right.
robots electrifying the elementary classroom.
Yep.
I
And
like
then
it.
our session on Thursday is all about creativity. I think the actual title is like creativity with a dash of AR and VR. And it's all about the idea that we want our students to be creative. We want them to be creators and not consumers. And we want to give them opportunities to learn different platforms in order to show their creativity. And just kind of break the mold of like the,
It's
Google
about the
Slides
process
and-
more than the product.
Yeah.
Like it's about the navigation and the journey and the learning endeavor before it is about anything else. That's
And-
essentially what it is.
And we really like to just get a little messy.
Yeah, cultivating that creativity because we need to hone us and focus in on that, because there's not many opportunities in the educational institution where it allows you that availability or that opportunity to just be creative. And it doesn't matter as long as the information's there what the end product is. We have to let go of control in that end product.
No, and I'm going to jump in. For those of you who do not follow the two amazing educators, check out their Twitter scrolling below. Follow them. You're going to learn so much. You're going to see their sessions, having fun. One of the things I see a lot of, and I want you to debunk this, boys do coding, boys do STEM.
No.
And here's
No, wait.
two female amazing
Listen.
educators. Talk to us.
So
Tell me I'm wrong.
It's completely wrong. And I love this. So last year was the first year I ever taught computer science class, and I had no idea what I was doing walking in the door. And I co-taught it with another teacher who had no idea what we were doing walking in the door. But we were willing to take the challenge, face it. And we had one female student in our class and a bunch of boys that I don't really know how they got there, but they got there and they did it and they learned. And this year we have an amazing class of coding. We have a few female students that are rocking awesome. I mean, they blow you out of the water, awesome students. Awesome coders. They out-code our boys in this classroom by far.
That's just it. Like, as a female gamer and coder herself, like that was like the biggest power that I had in my classroom, is that you can do this. I taught Vex Robotics as a Vex Robotics coach forever. And just getting those females in there and showing that they can do robotics and they can do coding.
All of our CS classes at the high school actually have at least one female teacher for each of the classes. Like Mike Dresick is the only male teacher that teaches computer science, and he co-teaches it with another female teacher. So we're rocking it up there.
Those men are like just hanging on.
Yeah. But like, I think females the females in our district see that females are teaching it. Why not? Why can't they take it then?
But I also always appreciated the male presence, because I feel like females in the real world have to understand that they have that competition and they have to have that assertiveness.
Yeah.
And they have to learn how to play in the same playground as the male components. So bring it.
Absolutely. It is wrong. So speaking of playground, I think you Deanna, are part of tomorrow's DigCit Institute as well. So look at this amazing lineup tomorrow afternoon, 1:30
the fact
to
that I'm
4:30.
a part of this is like surreal to me.
So tell us your involvement.
So Mary Alice came to our district my first year as a technology integrator. So I came from the secondary ELA classroom and went into this position not having a clue what I was doing, just being really excited to keep learning. And we just hit things out of the ballpark. I mean, we did a ton of stuff in my district, and we ended up having this huge digital summit at the end of the year. And our kids, our students from I think as low as third grade through seniors led sessions for our teachers during a superintendent's day. So they came to our school on a day that they did not need to, and they were stoked to do it. And our students were so empowered, and our teachers were so excited to learn from them and learning about technology, learning about digital citizenship. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Awesome.
And so I'm going to be talking about that.
Well,
that's
that's amazing. Have you met?
No, I haven't met you.
No. Amy and I have messaged. I was looking forward to meeting Amy, but you said about gaming. You're a bit of a gamer.
Yes.
What's the go-to game?
Me? I go old school. I like Mortal Kombat or Mario.
Whoa.
Yeah, but I will listen. I have 3 teenagers myself, and I'll play against them, and I appreciate the gaming. I did run the esports league for my region, so I found there's a lot of value in learning about gaming. When I was a teacher in the classroom, I taught students how to make video games because there's so much to it. There's the ELA component. There is the social component. There's the rules component. There's so much to gaming that is.
Oh my gosh! I run an esports program at my school.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, even that, just what you were just saying there, just to unpack that, you're talking about the importance of actually having people being actual creators, not consumers, but being creators.
Yes, the creators, yes.
But meeting children where they're at, actually not dictating to them where we want them to go or what we want them, knowing that they want to play esports, they are gamers, they identify as gamers, this is where they are, this is where they're engaging, meeting them where their need is at, where their interest level is, engaging there, and then giving them a pathway to create and learn those skills on that. That's vital. That's absolutely.
And it's not even like hindering them there, because it's like when I taught gaming, I gave them a plethora of platforms in which to create those games. So they also got to choose the platform in which they wanted to create. So we talked about genre, we talked about story writing, we talked about a plethora of aspects that go along with gaming. And then we talked about, so what some of my 7th graders would do is create those games, and then they would pilot it to their 2nd, 3rd, 4th graders. And then the 2nd, 3rd, 4th graders would then assess those games to tell them how well they were doing in there. So there's so much more. There's marketing, there's real world experience.
So we are going to be able to have a gaming course in our curriculum next year. Michael
that's
Jezik
awesome.
And I are going to be
wow.
hopefully co-teaching. I'm not really sure how it's all going to work out yet. But we've gone from having 1 computer science class to having 3 in the last 3 years to having a new elective next year. And it's all about gaming, and it just really supports our esports program and all of the things that are outside of the gaming aspect of it, the marketing and all of the shoutcasting and all of those other things that come along with it. And so it's not just about the game, it's about everything else that goes along with it. So we're so excited about it.
So while we're on the subject of gaming, and I know I'm going to come at it from a different lens. So as a former principal, I always hear from both parents and teachers, kids are too much screen time. So how do you take the other side of too much screen time when you're promoting game-based learning?
Well, it's also this
Before
social
you answer,
aspect.
hold on.
They're fired up.
I know, we got you.
I'm like, hold on. Before you answer, I'm not asking as Matt Joseph.
Take control of the podcast, Matthew Joseph.
I'm asking as a community who's trying to promote this.
I think having our students in our esports lab is having and giving them an opportunity, 1, to play. For some of them, they don't have systems at home to play. 2, it's such a team building environment. We set them up in teams, we have them playing each other for practice, and it's not just about gaming. And we are, like, I have ears that bleed when they say bad things, we are we're talking about the safety of having a classroom. You're still in our school building, but they have a safe environment to come and play. And we offer a lot of different games for them to play too. So
I'm going to take it on a personal level. My oldest child, who is on the spectrum, who is not very athletic, who has a hard time fitting in socially, gaming is his thing.
Yeah.
So if he could find his way
Pathway to success.
his way to figure out how he could fit in a society and do something that he loves, and within that, from a mama bear, looking at my child who's almost 17, learning how to socialize through gaming, because there's such a social aspect that we just negate, that we have to foster and hinder in that moment. There's so much more to it. It's community. It's yes, there are, but everybody use tech for good and everybody use tech for bad. It's just fostering that moment and making it a teachable moment.
I got to say, I think you've answered the question very, very well, but I think it's a dodgy question. I think it's a false question what you've asked. I'm sorry, Matt.
Well, see, this is what we learned before you came on. When you're nasty to someone, you really love them.
I do love you. You know I love you. You know I love you. I love you very well. But no, I've got to say.
No, we love each other too.
There you go. There you go. Now, do you know what? It's a false question because I think we need to rephrase the question because I think it's maybe it's a question from several years ago when we talk about too much screen time. I think it's a layover of when we just used to have TV and the screen was TV and was sitting down there. There's different types of screen time. So we can have just that passive. You're sitting in there passive, and you're getting that, whether that's from TV, whether that's from YouTube, or whatever you seem to be consuming. There's the possibility of having gaming where you're actually on the community and you're connecting, and then there's
you're creating.
And you're creating.
Look at the creative mode.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to go to.
Like my son, when they took away the creative mode and put into the education realm for what's that? Not even Minecraft, for Fortnite. Yeah. He was shocked because he played Minecraft not for the fact of playing Minecraft. Or not Minecraft, Fortnite. He loved the creative mode.
Yeah.
He loved building his own games. But that's where they have Mario now where you can build your own games in Mario and have other people play. There's so much more to it than just getting on and just sitting in front of screen time and consuming. There's the creating, there is the community. It's revolutionary and we need to embrace that. We really do.
Absolutely.
I think that's it. And that's why I think when we are presented with that type of question, a question about screen time, rather than answer that, I think we need to make sure that we're helping people understand that we need to rephrase that it's not how much screen time are we getting, but it's unpacking what type of screen time is your child.
It's engagement. Scott was here. I forget his last name. Was talking about brain science, and that was one of the things that I talk about. How are you engaging with the content? If it's active participation, creating, learning, teaming.
Well, I'll tell you what, engagement. We've got John Neal, who's sitting behind you a little bit
he's
from
going to
talk. And that's exactly what
Yeah,
he's.
you're good.
That's exactly
All
what he's
in.
about.
Team out.
You guys are awesome.
It's been
you had
great.
No
Thank
clue
you.
What's happening? We're here. Don't go anywhere. Don't go too far.
There you go, brother. How are you?
All right. Nice to
We've
meet
got
you.
more accents that I have a chance at understanding here.
What do we got going on here?
Hey, John, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. So, look into the camera or at you, Brett?
Look into the camera. I'm getting in trouble because I keep looking at the person. Matt keeps pointing at me. And, let's look at the camera. I'm going to attempt to look at the camera. But if you're anything like me, we're too sociable, and I'm going to turn this way and then go around. And Matthew's going to hit me afterwards.
No, I'm going to run the board over here. You do. I don't even know
Yeah,
if
you
that's
go,
a
you
thing.
go.
I just hear people say that. So
Yeah,
run the
so-
board. You do your thing.
Yeah, so my name is John Neal. I am the VP of Education at Moat. And if you're unfamiliar with Moat, we are a solution that allows for super easy integration of voice through all things Google. So anytime that you would only be able to typically type, you can use your voice. Awesome for accessibility, connection, and all sorts of other good stuff.
All right. So with the accent, try to get a little closer to the mic so everybody
Sure.
can hear that. And I'm throwing your.
Well, he's speaking properly. I don't hear too much of an accent. I think the trouble has been that there's been so many accents on all the previous.
It's been amazing for sure. So I put your website down below. Scrolling through, you have a booth here at the
We
center?
do, yeah.
So
So
for people coming to see your booth, tell us what they're going to see.
sure. So you will see me.
Well, that's all we need to know.
We
People
are.
interview
Come to
over.
Johnny, come to Johnny.
So we have a booth which is 2722. For this conference, we are a one-man team. Although I am going to be joined by the incredible Eric Kurtz on Tuesday at midday, and by the marvelous Jake Miller on Wednesday at 11:45. They're both going to be doing some book signings, they're going to be doing some giveaways, and also, more importantly, they're going to be sharing some of the ways in which they leverage the power of voice to help connect teachers with their learners.
Now, just checking, is Moat a sponsor of the podcast yet?
It is not.
Not yet. So currently not a sponsor.
I won't put them on the spot.
Cur-
and say that we're always looking for sponsors.
Well,
and,
I will
feel
pass that
free-
on. I will pass it on to Will, who will be falling over himself, I'm sure.
Well, because
to
if
be
you
making an
notice, I'll
application.
have to take down your booth number and your website to see it, but we do have sponsors. We do have people that support the program, and both Eric and Jake actually were guests on the show before coming down here to hearing some of their great work. So we're all
Fantastic.
about partnerships. We're all about the power of connections and stronger together.
Stronger together. That's
Yeah.
true. Well, I was going to say, because that was my lead in, just to be able to have my one complaint about Moat.
What's that, bro?
I'm going to lodge. I'm lodging a
One isn't
formal.
bad. I'll tell you.
I'm lodging a formal. I'm a user of Moat. I'm a user of Moat. But my one complaint of Moat is the lack of a Lenny Christus at the booth.
Yeah.
What's the story there?
That is a problem. Well, the funny thing is, Brett, she was
Eleni, if you're online now, I need you to contact here.
Brett is like
Dial
calling
in.
people out.
I'm gonna call Eleni right now. You keep going. I'm gonna call her.
You should do. Yeah. So she has done some wonderful work with us. If you do not know Eleni, then please make sure that you connect with her on Twitter and also on Instagram, where she shares some wonderful stuff. Super inspirational. A founder of a really successful webinar out in Australia. And yeah, someone that just is a constant source of inspiration for myself, and I'm sure for you too, Brett.
She is. I am actually.
Oh,
I
you
don't know
are
if you can
calling
hear that
her.
ringer.
Are you
I am
calling her
literally
right
ringing.
now?
I am calling her. It's like midday in Australia. She might be teaching, but we'll see how we go.
She might be at work.
She might be.
What's
Come on.
happening here?
It's you know what? It's going
Maybe we'll
through the
FaceTime
exchange.
her.
Oh,
okay.
I should FaceTime her. Oh, Lenny, can you hear?
Do you want me to send her the
Hold
link?
on.
There you go.
I'm gonna.
Hello.
Oh,
Oh, I can hear her.
Can you
She's
hear?
live.
You are live on a podcast. You're live on a podcast. Can you hear?
I can hear you, but I can't hear a podcast.
Oh, you can't hear the podcast. Do you know what?
Should be able to hear this voice.
Yeah, I'm standing right next to a young man called John Neal. Are you familiar with him?
I love John.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm gonna send you a link for. Are you free at the moment?
I'm actually setting up a new laptop.
Setting up a laptop, going to work with Moat. Do you know what? We're actually online live right now on the podcast talking about Moat, and I thought I'm going to give a shout out to Eleni Christus. You can do Eleni's little details at the bottom of the podcast live stream. We're going to
taking
promote
orders over here.
Yes, yeah.
So
Well, that's it.
tell me
That's
what
it.
I need to do.
She is at Miss Kuritzis.
So give me the Twitter handle.
Yeah,
that I'll
John
go
knows
from
it off by heart.
I
Go,
do.
John.
I do. At Miss.
Slow.
Yeah.
MRS.
MISS KYRITSIS.
There you go, Eleni. You're going to get a shout out live on the podcast.
Eleni?
I'm going to hang up for you. I'm going to hang up.
Follow each other.
Oh, there you
Wow,
go.
good.
I'm with Matt Joseph right now. He does follow you. I'm going to hang up so it's not too awkward for you.
follows me
See you
too.
later.
Bye, Eleni.
Bye. There you go. That's my one Moat complaint
And it's mine
addressed.
as well, Brett. It was
It's
mine as
resolved.
well. I really pushed for it.
There you go.
You know.
But look, I actually have used Moat as a teacher, and now I've moved into my role now where I'm
There
helping
she is. How
schools
does that look right for
and
you?
helping. There's Eleni right now.
That is her.
She's an absolute weapon too. Like if you don't follow her, make sure you do.
Absolutely,
I'm
bro.
getting now reach out to her. But Moat is quite special in that we know that giving feedback and effective feedback is one of the most I guess integral, important things that we're able to do as educators. We can set up tasks, but when we're able to give that direct instruction and that support, and in a digital sense, we can say something to a child, but actually, when we say it to them live, that they hear it once, that's it. But being able to do something digitally where they can hear it and refer to it and go back to it and multiple times connect, that's what Moat enables us to do. So do you want to unpack exactly what Moat is for us?
Yeah. So I would say that is actually the kind of reason in its essence is why Moat really exploded, is because teachers were looking for a way primarily during the pandemic to be able to connect with their students when they were in remote locations. So using voice, it was just a wonderful way not only for teachers to save a bit of time because talking is a lot faster than it is to type, but what they were able to do was to allow their students to not get lost in any kind of misunderstanding the tone. They, just as you say, Brett, they were able to replay the feedback as many times as they want. They could pause it, listen to separate sections. And then over time, what we did was listen to our wonderful community and rolled out into all areas of Google Workspace. So outside of Google Classroom and feedback, we launched Moat for Slides. So that was just a wonderful introduction whereby it becomes super easy to put your voice onto a Google slide deck. Same for Moat for Google Forms. So both the creator and the person that's responding to a form can use their voice for that. So great for accessibility. If you've got like pastoral activities, world language classrooms, really nice uses. And then we've also got one of my favorite things, which we launched towards the end of last year, is audio QR codes. And what that means is...
Whoa. Don't just go fast over the audio QR codes.
Yeah,
Talk
audio
me through
QR codes. So what that means is just... So the fastest way of doing this is if you just go to mote.new, so mote.new, and you can use our new web-based recorder. And what that will allow you to do, with a free account, you can record up to 5 minutes of audio that will be fully transcribed. And if you share that as a QR code, anyone that then scans that QR code, if it's a praise postcard that's going home, maybe it's a school report, and you want to have that little bit of extra bond, not only between teacher and student, but also so the folk at home can get that extra bit of connection with the teacher. Voice is a great way of doing that. And the recipient is able to translate the transcription, into language of their choice.
I was just about to say that's one of my favorite features of Moat, that the actual transcript, we get the audio transcript, but you can actually then click in and it's multilingual. So you record your feedback in English.
Get out of here.
And then you hit on the side and you actually get the transcript. So we're already right up there with the accessibility stakes, but then you can translate. And how many languages have we got?
We have over 30, but that's entirely...
So English, Australian,
American. And I would say... but
New Zealand, everything, all the languages.
Oh,
yeah.
all right. So we're going to definitely have to connect. Your
Yeah.
booth 2722. I put it down below.
You got it.
Now,
Awesome.
quick. I want to do an experiment while we're here. We've got the kiwi over here.
Oh, really?
And we got the
I-
Atlanta peach over here.
The Atlanta
go.
peach. The Atlanta peach. Just wait. I just want to hear. I just want to test an American myth. Okay. Can you pick between the accents?
Yeah, I often get.
I'm going to shut my eyes.
No. That's all right. That's all right.
Do you, ever
Do
get
you know where he's from? Can you pick
Oh.
where he's from?
Can you tell where I'm? The country, you mean, or the specific part
England?
of the country?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well done.
that is,
Because
yeah.
you probably get what I
I
get.
get it a
I don't
lot,
know
but-
if the Kiwis get it too, but
I get
I always
it a
get.
lot.
Oh, wait, I love your British accent. I'm not
Yeah.
bloody.
I say the same thing, Brett. I'm like, can you not say that?
Say
But, no, I say the same thing. I say, please don't.
for you, it's a compliment.
Well,
For
I was
me, it's an
gonna say-
insult.
Well, yeah, I wasn't going to say that they ask if I'm Australian. They accuse me of being
I
Australian.
accuse you of being Australian. There you go.
Awesome. Well, it was
started it,
awesome to meet you. I'll definitely check out your
Well, at
booth.
least you guys had
Your
the
booth-
right idea in 1812.
True. And if you're ever looking to expand the brand on a podcast or books,
I think
hey,
that's a
feel
lot-
free
yeah.
to join us.
Of course.
Okay,
Cheers.
Moat,
So we go
hashtag
from the-
future sponsor. Good to have you, brother.
So we go from a kiwi to a peach.
And I'll take
Come on, Peachy.
this.
Oh, look at this. We're going to do a live selfie all the way for Lenny.
It needs to be there.
Moat, where's the Lenny?
You're right, though. Where is she? Cheers, guys.
So
Sarah.
I think Adam's gonna have a beef with you.
Woo! Beef with me?
Absolutely.
Going on, sir?
So
No. Oh. My brother.
So Adam, there's a bogus poll out there
Yeah.
It's a bogus poll. Hold on.
that Brett said
The
that he-
handsomest man at FETC. That's what I've heard. That's the
And
word
then
on the
he comes
street, baby
rolling
bloom.
I mean,
and then Dr. Adam File comes rolling in and is like, "Yeah, I don't think so, man."
it's one of those things. They just stopped and stared when I walked by.
Woo!
There it is.
Yeah.
They were only.
You
staring
are
at the
you are
hat.
very kissable though.
All right,
I felt tingling in
Oh, you
places
smell
that
nice
I've never
too. You
tingled
smell very
before.
nice.
You know, we're an hour and 44 minutes in.
And
when-
this is
when
why you
is
haven't
going
been
down.
allowed in the country for a couple years now.
That's it.
Exactly. So for the very few that don't know who you are, besides that your Twitter handle is down below, tell us the work that you do and now doing with Future Ready.
Oh wow! So this has
Wipe
been
off my kiss.
yeah. I gotta let the fans know that I'm it's clean and ready. Yeah, this has been an exciting year for me. I just left my school district back in November. Now I am. Previously, I was serving in the role of Director of Technology and Media Services for the Newton County School District in Covington, Georgia, which is the Hollywood of the South. Now that I am in my role with Future Ready Schools, all for Ed, I am serving as their Director of Professional Learning and Leadership. So I'm getting a chance to work with leaders across the country around the Future Ready framework, really doing what's right for the boys and girls and people in our districts.
And I think that's incredibly just passionate work that I'm psyched that you get to do it. For those who haven't had a chance to be part of Future Ready or districts or some of the work that you're now doing, what could they expect from that work if they had you come in or contract with you? I don't even know the right terminology.
Yeah, if you are familiar with Future Ready Schools, just take all the stuff that they did. It was already at a level 10, and we're just going to ramp it up times 100 now that I'm there.
There it is. I like it.
We'll keep ramping it up and bringing it to you.
I love that confidence. Gotta love that confidence.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we really want to make sure that everybody has the right resources in their hands to do what's right for our students, because the biggest focus in Future Ready and really the Alliance, All for Ed is the parent organization. We look at really closing that digital divide that we see, not only with connectivity, but also with what our students are doing in our classrooms. And we want to make sure that all students have equitable access to the resources so they can become the best versions of themselves. And I'm happy to be a part of that work.
And so one of the other things so Adam talked a lot about the work he's doing for Future Ready, but I've also had the great pleasure of seeing him keynote and do some of the work for himself. So if you haven't had a chance, check out his website that is scrolling down at the bottom. Have him come in. I had a chance to see him down in Lubbock between the music and the flair and the clothes. For those who are looking to inspire
The home of Buddy Holly.
There you go. Absolutely. You got it.
Did you not know that?
Are you joking?
Oh.
Because I've been there a few times.
Yeah.
And Matt
Oh,
Holly.
sorry. Matt Holly, if you're listening, where's my invite to Lubbock, Texas?
Yeah.
They have
So-
good jerky down there. So when you go, you got to get the jerky.
Oh,
And it's the first place I ever had potatoes in my tacos, and it's delicious. I've never had them anywhere. Oh, and look who's rolling in, Jen Wow.
Oh, there you go. I want to know.
I just got beaded.
I'm not going to ask any questions on how Miss Brooks got so
And
many
I
beads.
got beads, but guess what? All my clothes are still on. Remember that. You can get beads, but keep all your clothes on. Well,
Oh, there we
that's how
go.
we do it at FETC. Family-friendly environment here.
All right, we just got. So Adam, we're going to talk about you and your
Oh,
keynote.
there you go.
We have Rochelle is here, Jen is here. You're going to jump on behind either one
Hold on,
of us.
Kristen's
any
gonna-
of us.
Kristen's gonna help
Yeah,
me
it's
with,
just getting a little
a
crazy now.
I know. Because like the crazy thing is like I'm here until Thursday, and then I'm heading to Jersey. I'll be Friday. I'll be in Jersey at Texpo doing their Friday keynote there. So looking forward to bringing that as well too.
That's awesome. So before we got to all the guests, I did want to just go back to that for a second. If you haven't had a chance to see Adam's work, it is fabulous. Check out his website down below. I know it's starting. We're an hour and 45 minutes in now. People are coming in. But one thing I don't joke about is his impact on students and districts and educators. So make sure to check that out and check him out as well. So thanks for jumping on.
Everyone
And of course,
checking you out,
great
baby.
friend.
Yeah, I'm telling
Jen.
you, hey. And here's the cool thing about it. Like I said, once again, you can get beads down here, and you don't have to do anything special. Okay?
Is that true?
You know what? You can
I
just
know,
be
Jen
me and be
Womble just
special.
brought it in,
I'm
so-
special. I was in a special class in school
You're
and everything.
special.
So that's
I heard that. I heard that.
Yeah, so that's why I got beads.
So
has Kristen been over here yet?
I don't know. Kristen, you want to come up here next?
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have to get the
Because
one
we've
and
got
only
Jen,
Jen
we've got
Womble.
Rochelle as well. Rochelle as well, queuing up. They're queuing up, brother.
We did say, don't
we might
forget to
go
subscribe.
over
Just gonna
hit
keep
the
going.
like
I'm not
button
turning it
below.
off.
It's a non-stop
I might
podcast.
need another refreshment, but that's okay.
Oh, there you go. There you go. What are you drinking? Water?
Mute your mic and you know
There you
just
go.
water.
There you go.
Okay, what do I put on?
There you go. Oh, it's on. You're live. You are literally live already.
Yay!
Oh, no, don't worry. We're just going to put the
So we're trying to
microphone.
figure. So we are looking for sponsors to figure this out. Our third one tomorrow night. If you want
Look,
to come
this
down.
man always grinding, always working. The hardest working
Kristen,
man
go
in
ahead, go ahead.
EdTech.
Adam does, Hey.
All right, Kristen Brooks. If you don't follow her, check out her Twitter handle, Kristen Brooks 77. And I had a chance to see your website today. It is coming along. It is awesome. So talk a little about your work for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here at FETC. It's awesome. And I am going to be doing my first session in the morning at 8:30, room R8 on Adobe Express. So all kinds of things
for
Adobe.
those who don't know enough about it, what does that mean?
Yeah, it's basically we're going to be creating, so it's a workshop, and I'm just going to show folks how to use the tools in Adobe Express. They're very simple to use. I use them with kindergarten through 5th grade, and we're going to be creating different items that would be very helpful to teach students in any classroom.
And what's always impressed me about your work, similar to when we had Jenny and Celie on, the strategies that you show, people who come here and come to your sessions will be able to put them into practice when they leave here. And that's
Thank you.
always impressive. And I know you've had some transition in some of your work and to get back into schools. And why is that your passion?
I just love working. I love working with anybody that will listen. My big thing is to create more than you consume. And so just really encouraging people to use their devices to create. People say, oh, well, why is that important? Kids know how to get on YouTube. Well, they know how to consume, but they don't always know how to create. And you have to teach, folks of all ages how to create and how to use it in a way that makes your life, simple and easy, and using the items that are out there that are free, because Adobe Express is free for all educators.
Wow. And I think when you find those resources to bring into schools, what do you see when students start using them?
Okay, I couldn't hear you. Sorry, say it one more time.
So one of the things
He's very long-winded.
All right, I'll cut to the chase because I see the work you're doing is impactful. How do you see that come out in student engagement?
Oh, absolutely. Basically, giving students something that they can use. Like Adobe has really quick web pages that students can create. I had my 4th and 5th graders make those. And I really was encouraging them. I said, guys, when you get to different sports in high school Or when you get ready to go to college, a lot of people are asking for a link to your website. Well, making a website is very involved, but making one web page that you can put your, essays on, or your football pictures, or whatever you might want to show, is very simple to do in Adobe Express. So I felt like that was a great thing for them to learn at a young age, and just to take it and use it for whatever they might need it for.
And so as you start scrolling through, when you're coming down, FETC kicks off tomorrow. If you see any of these sessions, make sure to stop in, see Kristen and her great work. And if you read through them, as I said to you, these sessions become practice for students. And I think that's the exciting part about this. What are you looking to take away with you? Because you are a learner as well.
Oh, I do love to learn.
That's a good question.
I really just want to, well, one, I love connecting with the other educators that are here and just finding a way to keep connecting with them. And some of my best friends are here, so it's exciting to see all of those folks. And then my friends. And then just, I really, I just want to see what's new in ed tech, what's something that I haven't learned yet. And I'll just walk around and find something that is new and interesting.
Awesome. Well, for those of you who want to hear an extended interview with Kristen tomorrow at 11:40, she's jumping on the Stronger Together podcast. As I said, we have about 7 sessions tomorrow live. Some educators coming on. Kristen's one of those at 11:40, so make sure to jump on tomorrow. But thanks for coming back. You came at the beginning. You came back. We are going to rope in Jen.
Did we go back to
Atlanta then? She's in
Yes,
Atlanta.
back to Atlanta. Yes.
Bulldogs, right?
Yes, go Dogs.
There you go. Go Dogs.
I like it. All right, so
Okay,
we
wait,
are
we have
welcoming
something
in.
special to do. Wait, are we going to do our bit?
Oh yeah, do you know what? Kristen knows the answer to this. I'm not sure if you do. Perhaps your
I don't.
audience might. If I was to say to you, Kristen, Aussie, 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 you would say?
Oi, oi, oi!
There we go. Well done.
Thank you for jumping on. So behave yourself, because we have Jen.
Oh, there we go. Best behavior. Got to do the tie up. Where's the suit?
She comes in.
How we doing? We're gonna hug first. There we go. Hey.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to everything.
Mwah.
I'm so excited to see you.
And
All
watch
right,
out,
so-
because Mike is live already.
Yeah.
We are live straight up.
All right. What do you guys tell me what's happening over here?
So
This is
we've been on
exciting.
for about. So it's amazing, and why I just love this event so much. It's you take an idea, you run with it, and you are so inclusive. It's like, just try it.
Just try it.
And,
Let's do it.
And I texted Brett, and we're like, hey, we're going to get in Sunday night. One, can I just room with you? And he's like, sure. And the next, like, let's just broadcast live to kick off the event. And we've been going for 2 hours, and there hasn't been a lull of people coming.
We
through
have
here.
not had a single minute where we haven't had someone
Wait,
or
does that mean
someone
you need a
doing
drink?
it's fantastic.
Yeah, we've had a couple. So for those who don't know you, for some unknown reason, share who you are and your involvement in the podcast. And you can look right into the camera.
I should, shouldn't I? Well, I'm Jennifer Womble. I'm the conference chair of FETC, and we are extremely excited. We're having the 43rd annual FETC for the first time ever in New Orleans. So we have lots of new excitement and new things that are happening, and we are all set up and ready to go. Registration opens tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.
You know, if I'm living local and I haven't actually got my ticket yet, and I want to come in, I'm somewhere in Louisiana. Where do I go to find out more
Absolutely.
about FETC?
You can first go to the website, www.fetc.org. You can register online, but you can also register as you walk in. So there will be people who arrive and walk in,
wow.
and they can register right at the front desk.
Perfect.
And there's all different packages. You can do premium, which is unlimited workshop, basic, which is concurrent sessions, or you can do free expo only on the show floor.
Look how fast it is. I've been watching in awe of the hardest working man in EdTech. As you've said,
I love the runner. I love that runner.
Look at that.
I
Look at
love
that.
it.
That fast.
This is better than
He's
CNN.
sleek.
I'm very impressed.
Yeah. So no, in all seriousness, one of the things that's always impressed me, and I've known you for about 5 to 6 years now, is you're always looking for voices in the field. And you get on airplanes, and you flew. The first time we met, she flew up to Boston and watched. She came to MASCU, which is our state event, and approached me to say, hey, do you want to lead a session? And which led to more sessions, led to feature speaker, led to us doing podcasts in a lounge. And that's always impressed me about that work. And what is it for you that's so passionate about finding these speakers?
Well, I will say, you're exactly right. I never hire a speaker that I haven't seen speak. So with the exception of a few people who I've seen a video presentation, so I'm very picky because I want in education technology, the people who invest in coming to the event, I want them to have the very best experience, and I want them to have the best trainers, the best professional development, because that directly impacts the classroom. So I am completely driven by picking the very best speakers and unparalleled the best professional development, because that's what's going to impact the schools. That's what's going to impact students. And so I see that direct line, and so that's why I value the speakers so much.
I tell you what, as someone who is coming over for his first FETC, obviously such a long flight, coming over, making that journey, the thing that I have noticed more here than any other conference I've actually participated in is your personal hands-on involvement. It really is a labor of love. This is not a task for you. You're not moving through the motions. This is your heart and soul.
Yeah, 100%. As a matter of fact, the first time I presented as a teacher at FETC was 1991. And so I presented to this conference and spoke here long before I worked at the conference. So it's like in my blood. And so I believe the power of this conference is to really transform schools. Like every single person that's in a session and in a keynote, they are going back to a school district and impacting thousands of lives. And so what we're doing is very important. And right now, it could not be a better time to be in education technology. It is the most exciting. There are things coming to market that we're all trying to figure out how to handle and what to do with, and having conversations. And you need to have that face-to-face conversation. If I'm an English teacher talking about AI and I'm a science teacher talking about AI, or a math teacher, we need to all talk face-to-face on how we're going to use that, how we're going to move forward.
There's that relationship, that conversation, that time to I guess unpack all of these new things, especially at the moment as exponentially we're seeing so huge rate of change. I've got one question for you. Now, I don't know if this is an easy question or a hard question, and it's probably a little bit of both. FETC, without a doubt, is something different. What is it, from your point of view, that makes FETC so different to the other conferences that are out there?
It's a good question, because I do go to a lot of conferences. That's where I recruit speakers and keep up with trends and technology. I think one of the major initiatives that we deliberately plan for is the personal experience. Like, I deliberately want one of the main things you leave with is a connection. So whether it is connecting with somebody in the hallway or in a session, so we'll have an orientation session for every track, because I want attendees to know how can you find the best content for you? How can you meet people that will stick with you year round? So there's a big focus on the connection and the year-round connection and that human part of it, right? More so than just the content. It's not just the content, it's the connection. And then later when you leave here, I want you to know somebody so that when you try something new, you can communicate with them and share with them. And then we spread the strategy and improve pedagogy everywhere because of those connections.
No.
And for me, Brett, I'm going to jump.
I have a follow-up. You go.
Because what I've always been impressed and why I'm so dedicated to FETC and want to support and be a part of it is because it combines all lenses in education. My involvement really when I was a principal and then as a district leader who really was heavily involved in ed tech is that we bring in the librarians, we bring in the principals, we bring in the superintendent, or I'm a part. Jen brings in all of these speakers that cover education, and I think that's where it stands out, is that it covers the full lens of education and not just a singular ed tech lane. And what has been your kind of thought process behind that, to have the administrative track and all these different tracks?
Absolutely. So one of the most important things that we do is we have focused a lot on strategic decision makers, because the teachers might be employing that technology and the teachers might be using that with the students, but we have decision makers who are deciding, can we build the Wi-Fi for you to do that? Can we build a school for you to do that? Can we give you the resources to do that? So we make a priority of really bringing in all the superintendents. So this weekend, we actually, at the JW, have a superintendent summit that is running at the same time as FETC, so that all those 52 superintendents are being trained on EdTech, but they're also coming over. So that's one piece. The second piece is we partner with the companies that are here. So we have a partnership with them. They're not just a booth on the sales floor. These companies we work with year round. We cultivate those relationships, and those companies work with us in a lot of different facets, and they're really partners. So like this year, I'm doing a panel discussion with CEOs of 4 different companies at FETC and talking about how important that partnership is between the vendors and the school and building those relationships and making products better that work better. And we really feel that way too. So we really worked hard to build relationships with these companies. We had the biggest show floor we've ever had, 462 companies. It's a half a mile long. It is enormous.
Half a mile long.
Half a mile long.
What's
From
that?
start
What's that in meters? About 800. That's almost a kilometer.
So we go from Hall A to past Hall E is all exhibit floor. So it's
So I'm going to get my steps up just working. We're just walking.
I got my steps before lunch today. So it is, but it's exciting because they don't want to just meet you and skin you. They want to say, what's in your school? What challenges do you have? How can our product help students? And that's a little bit different than just being a number or being a scan. They really care about knowing how this product is used in school to make learning better.
I love what you're saying, and it links into what you were saying before there about it's more than just attending something and going through the motions, actually having that connection, actually being able to build those relationships. Now, I want to ask you something in that exact vein. Now, a little birdie, I'm curious to find out how clued in my intel is. I've heard you've got about 200 people, first timers, never been to FETC before. Is that accurate? 2,000. There's first timers.
First timers.
2,000 people who are first time in FETC.
I was waiting for her to jump on that. 200, no way.
Sure, 200.
She was close. She was just 1 0 away.
Yeah, 1-0.
So what we're excited about is because we worked really hard in Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, in this region to really recruit people that are really underserved in educational technology. And so we've worked with these districts. We've kind of helped say, listen, this is the training that you need to be at. Mississippi last year, for the first time, had their first one-to-one initiative statewide.
Wow. Okay.
So in this area, we're really meeting a need for ed tech, and we've reached out to them. So the fact that we have this many first-timers is exciting to me, because also, since COVID, everybody in your school is now a tech user. So then that we've raised the bar of the number of people in school districts who are using technology and really engaging with it and integrating it. And so they want to learn how to do more. And so they're here. So we're super, super excited.
See, I understand how I got my invitation now, because she's just let out that she was focusing on recruiting from the deep south. There is no one more deeper south. No one is further south.
I actually meant on our continent.
But technically, I am the most southern attendee. Although we had a few. We did meet Kai's clan, who are New Zealand, so probably technically a little bit more south than I am.
Several people from Alaska. We have lots of people from Alaska. I met 2 last night.
Yeah.
They're so far south, they're up on north.
You know, the other side. Exactly. Well, I know how busy you are. We appreciate you coming through. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for letting us just run with things.
You've done such a good job. So excited.
Listen, I look forward to a great conference. I hope every single day is magical for everyone. Like, really, there's so much in store every day this year that, like, you could come each morning and have a whole different experience, and it will be wonderful every day. That's what I hope.
There you go. Now, have you, for the uninitiated, someone who's coming here, a little piece of New Orleans.
Nyland.
If I'm going to try something cultural here, what's my must-try food or my must-try drink? What am I?
Well, Red Beans and Rice is basically a food group here. So that's
what is that?
Red Beans and Rice.
Red beans and rice.
So we got king cakes, red beans and rice.
And king cakes are just out because the first Mardi Gras parade is this Saturday. So king cakes are out right now. So you definitely need king cakes. Red beans and rice, and of course oysters. I have to say, oysters and seafood is fantastic. All the rest of the food and restaurants are fabulous.
If anyone wants to bring us some food down here, we'll give you a free shout out. Any restaurant.
We're looking for king cakes. We're looking for oysters.
We're looking for any of that. We're here tomorrow night as well.
Madame Laveau's. What's the Madame Laveau's? What's the little?
The Wax Museum.
Oh no, that's Madame Tussauds. Just the. Don't worry, I'm mixing up.
Yeah, you definitely do a ghost tour then.
There you go. All right.
So
fantastic.
We can't cut up. So thank you so much,
Thank
Jen,
you
for
for
all
having
you
me.
do.
Thanks so much, Jen. No, thanks for having us.
I got to squeeze in.
Yeah, so we had to stay on because my friends all the way, my DigSit friends, the sponsor of the newest book. There she is. now there's going to be some greetings and all sorts of stuff. So we're not going to go off. Are you good with a couple?
I'm happy to go off.
We got Rochelle. We got Craig. We got a couple other people. So you good with just?
Yeah. We'll keep rolling.
For our viewers out there, we got.
Do you need a beverage? All right.
Greg's been sneaking in on my background. If you guys want to jump in over there.
Yeah. Do you want to jump in live now, and I'll get you a.
And then Mary Alice is here. Jamie Donnelly's here.
I'm going to wave the waitress over and get us. You need a soda water.
A soda water?
Well, do you know what they do? You know, I've been in Tennessee for the last couple of days, and I saw someone drinking it today. So I think it's a drink from the south. Some sweet tea. I got to drink some sweet tea. You drink some sweet tea?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm having something that's about the same shade as sweet tea.
I'm going
Same
to.
colouring.
I'm going to.
You are live, by the way.
I know I'm live, by the way. I'm going to show you what. Oh, that says. I love when autocorrect.
All right, you might be the hardest working man in EdTech, but I have become friends with this lady sheerly by her intensity and her workload. She's got to be close to the hardest working woman in EdTech.
I don't know about that. Can you read that? That's my.
Tito's with cranberry.
Okay.
Well, that's not for public knowledge.
Yes,
That's
Brett Stiller. We're 2 hours.
In Australia, that's a brand of corn chip. I don't know.
We're 2 hours in, and Brett hasn't figured that out yet.
That was the elusive, because on the flight they didn't serve any snacks or anything for either flight because of the turbulence and everything.
There you go.
I just would like some water.
So for those who don't know your work, share a little bit about your work before we get too deep into this with your drinks and stuff.
Yeah. You're up.
I'm up. So am I talking to you? Am I talking to them?
You're talking straight. Brett hasn't been able to figure that out
hopeless.
yet.
I have been looking at the person and not the camera. You're a professional. You look down the camera.
So for those of you who don't follow Rochelle, her Twitter channel is
you
down
talk.
below.
I'm going to go and get you a beverage.
Okay, thank you. Well, hello. I am Rochelle Danae Poth, Twitter RDNA915. I'm happy to be here in person with both of these amazing educators and inspirers. I'm going to call you inspirers. And other people that are joining in. So I do a lot of things. I'm a Spanish teacher, STEAM teacher, attorney, author, blogger. I like to do a lot of things, and I do find time to sleep. So that kind of sums it up. Yeah.
So what are some of the sessions you're going to be doing here? I know I saw you do a couple booth sessions as well.
Yeah, I have a lot going on. I have a STEM session tomorrow morning, a workshop. I have a social emotional learning session tomorrow. I also have, I asked Brett to present with me on a session on NFTs.
Does he even know that?
Metaverse, Web3, what else? Blockchain, maybe a little chat GPT thrown in there. Let's see, Tuesday I have a couple on artificial intelligence, a couple booth sessions, and then Wednesday another one that's on blockchain and NFTs and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'll be keeping busy just like you and everybody else. Yeah.
And one of the things I always ask those who do so much, what do you hope to actually take away from this event?
Great question. With so little time, right? For me, it's always about the people and the connections, even those small moments, just to stop by and see somebody that either you've never met or you haven't seen in a long time, that you've connected with either at a conference before or in spaces like this, and just to have those moments where you're like, oh my gosh, like you're a real person. Get to give the, elbow bump or the high five or the hug, whatever it is. So there's that. I'm always excited to go to the EdTech Startup Pavilion and the Pitch Fest to learn about new ideas, to see what companies are coming up with, what's behind their inspiration for creating an app or some resource for educators. Always interested in the keynotes, the conversations that happen along the way to a session where you're like, I'm going to get to this session, and then you run into 10 different people, and next thing you know, like you've missed a session, but you've learned so much in the process of those different conversations. So I don't know. I'm just happy to be here and to see people for the first time in person.
Really? Okay.
Brett and I saw each other very briefly, but this is like
we met once for about 30 seconds.
Yeah. So right now, this is like 100 times more than the amount of time we've ever spent together.
Amazing. And
co-presenting. Yes.
And we are on like extra time, and we got some people coming in. But before you get off of the call, if you haven't had a chance to see Rochelle's work, all of her great books, check them out. And if you want a chance to meet her Wednesday at 11:45, she'll be signing books. Go down to the author sessions. Check out all of her great work. She's also going to be on the podcast as a standalone as well, coming up as well. And if you start scrolling through all of the work. and
Oh my
all-
goodness.
Here are all of her sessions.
Those are mine? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, those are yours. So get on it. Thanks
Yeah.
for stopping down on this
Thank
impromptu
you.
extra time.
Yeah.
We got Greg Babby coming on. We got Mary Alice coming on. Mary Alice.
You too.
You have a great. You have a water coming.
Oh, wait.
All right. You can do that. Greg, you're up, brother.
Okay.
Greg and I just had that awkward moment a few moments ago. We've been talking to each other for years and years and years on Twitter, but having never actually met each other in person, I couldn't place who it was, and I think my comment was, I think I know you. You're familiar, but I don't know who you are. Can you help me? Greg, do you want to actually talk to the camera and tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and what you're going to be talking about at FETC this week?
Sure. Greg Bagby. I work with, NCCE, and I also work in a school district, Hamilton County Schools, Chattanooga, Tennessee, where I am the coordinator of instructional technology. So being that coordinator, I get to talk about leadership in technology here at FETC, talking about different tools and different things. Of course, I originally did not put in anything about AI, but then, of course, the whole AI explosion happened. Well, it didn't really happen. It's been happening, but folks are actually recognizing it and using it to their advantage or to their ill. So I'll be talking about a little bit of AI as well. And then I'm working with a couple other folks doing a tech battle, so to speak, where we're just talking about which tools we love the best. And I think that's about it. Actually, there's several more, but yeah, I'll be here doing
several more. You're one of the feature speakers.
Oh, yes.
And I think that's extremely excited. He cut you, but that's okay.
Well, Jamie was there, and I just jumped in front of her. There's Jamie. Everyone knows
That's
Jamie.
all right.
No, it's not. It's an A.
So as Greg was saying, we're over the 2-hour mark, and now it's just meet and greet. But for those of you who are still watching, this is Greg's session. Brett, your computer's coming off. Those are all of his sessions that he's going to see. He's one of our feature speakers here at the event.
Yes.
And it is amazing. So thank you for all the work that you're doing. I think you're on mute now, whatever is happening over there.
I did put myself on mute when I went in for the hug there just a moment ago with Jamie. But I'm going to say, before you let Greg go, yes, I think you're right. I think there's going to be a lot of discussion about AI, and I'm sure you're have the same conundrum as I do, in that it's something that we definitely need to talk about. It's something that we definitely need to address. However, it's also something that I know that so many of us are going to be talking about. So it's how do I say it without repeating what other people are going to say, given that it's so new. So I'm not going to ask you about AI right now, because I know you've mentioned that. But I want to ask you said you're going to be in a tech battle. I need to hear that. Anything that's competitive, anything that's going to come out, someone's going to come out on number one. I need to know more about this tech battle. What's going down there?
So I work with these folks that think their tools are the best. One lady's all about coding and CS, and the other guy, he's a Google nut.
Did you say CS or something else?
CS.
Okay. We're getting to the point we're going to have to shut Brett off. So
okay. So we're just going to have our different tools and explain how my tool is better than their tool or whatever. So it's not necessarily a battle. We're not going to come to blows, I hope, because I work with them. And
that's what I want to see. I want to see some gauntlet being thrown.
Well, thankfully,
I like it.
Well,
we're going toe to toe. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
What did he just?
Well, I think one woman.
Oh, well,
that's just a
Brett said too much.
But thank you all for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Jamie, don't go
just
anywhere.
Walked away. So
Mary Alice, Jamie, let's go. We waited for you from the airport.
Have a great day.
I did order, yes.
So
I ordered one for me as well, so they must be coming.
So we are going to wrap up with these two amazing educators, because Brett and I are going an hour and 12 minutes straight. So before you start, 2 hours and 15 minutes.
You robbed us of an hour then.
I know it. So we had Jen Wombo. We've had people from New Zealand, from Spain. And when Mary Alice texted me that they're
we might have to put that accent vote back in there. We had we ran a poll at the beginning of the
at the beginning of the podcast, the sexiest accent at FETC.
Would be yours, hands down. I don't need to meet anybody else.
So
forcing.
before we start, hold on.
Wicked
It's
smart.
It's going off the rails.
Wicked what?
Smart.
Wicked smile. Smile.
Smart. Like smart, but you
We're-
add an H if you're from Boston. Wicked smart.
Smart.
Yeah, like Matt. Matt's wicked smart.
Oh. I'm not even understanding your words.
All right,
so
so-
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're not using this. We're just using the directional
they're already
microphone
getting
there.
us.
We're all good. Yeah, we are already live. You are live and recording.
My favorite Mary Alice is we're
we've-
live.
And just like
All right.
that, we're
All
live.
right. So before we
How
start,
good did the Bengals play today?
we're gonna wheel it into
I'm
this.
still showing the love. This is for Dama.
Okay. All right. Before we start, have you connected yet that Mary Alice and I were the one who called you in the middle of the night?
In the middle of the night. I go out
semi-naked?
and you picked up. That was me.
That's because I love him so much. I can be midnight, 1 a.m., semi-naked, and I will still answer.
This is why we're going to wrap this up in a minute, but we didn't want to make sure before we're going to end on this.
That sexiest accent in EdTech's
Oh yeah.
myth going,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You see?
I'll
So-
be like your manager.
Yeah,
I'll
that's it.
like promote it.
That's it. So, if you put my phone number down the bottom for
We're not
anyone
going to
who
do
wants
that. We're not going to do that. So what we are going to do, we are going to end where we started with, I was so fortunate to join this group right here and to be a part of this tomorrow. And I would love for you to end this because this is tomorrow. Let me take Greg's information out tomorrow, 1:30 in room 210, the Digit Institute, which is your baby, and that you two are just phenomenal on it. I'm
You guys
just
are weapons.
fortunate enough to be a part
Absolute
of it.
weapons.
So tell us about it and tell us why people should go.
Okay, what that picture,
Closer.
that community, honestly, is unbelievable. So we have 1:30 to 4:30. Jamie's the one that said, let's do it as a choose your own adventure. Right?
I did not. She just wants to give me credit.
No, it's the truth. You're the one. You're like, I need more than 20 minutes. I need more than 30 minutes. I remember you saying that. I was like, okay, we're going with the choose your own adventure.
That is true. I did.
Yes, yes. And so it's a great opportunity to experience what digital citizenship looks like in action. You want to like share what you're doing because it's awesome.
Okay. So what I love about this is everybody's kind of bringing their passion projects and saying, this is what I really am loving right now, but I want to share with other people. But this needs to be something that I'm not just showing, but we're doing.
Right.
together.
It's action tomorrow.
Yes.
Action.
So I said, what if we put people in VR into a serene space and showed visually using augmented reality through a mobile app and through an Apple Watch. The person in VR is going to have their heart shown to us visually, those that are standing around watching. So we're really going to show the decrease of stress, and
Digital
anxiety,
wellness.
that digital wellness within the virtual reality spaces, but demonstrated augmented reality of the beating heart sitting there right in front of us by actually seeing that take place for the person that's in the VR experience.
So it's just amazing, and we could not end this without having the two of you on. The bringing everything together, having Jen Wombolt on, which is where, for little known fact, that's where the book Power started. She let me just run loose, but it also ended with this, where one tweet from Mary Alice got us here.
Boom!
And
wow!
She literally tweeted to this young educator in India.
India, brother, India.
Connect with Matt Joseph, and I'm just a little emotional about it because from that rooted a friendship, more friends, and just connecting, and it all has
He's such
led
a good guy.
He really is. And guess what? He's going to
to
be.
this tomorrow night.
You are a part of this because you're bringing
I
that.
got pictures
yes,
there.
and you're the part of bringing that administrative voice to it. But we're also that giveaway. It's going to be really emotional tomorrow for each one. Teach 10.
Absolutely,
Is
and
our
that's
swag.
And each one teach 10 has been our motto today as we wrap this up 2 hours and 18 minutes in, and we're going to be here again tomorrow night 6 to 8. Each one teach 10. We started here at 4 o'clock just on a text, similar to your tweet, And we have not had a minute where someone hasn't been in that seat. From Spain, from New Zealand to Maine to Texas to California. It has been
And I've got to
amazing.
say, Australia to represent. I'm having a look at the live comments and the live chat. There is a lot of Southern Hemisphere love there, brother.
Absolutely. We got beats from Jen Wombold. We got our fans from New York.
You should have seen what he had to do to get his beats.
Oh my!
You should have seen what he had to do to get his beats.
No, we can't do that. So thank you both for being the closeout of today.
They say the best for last, my friend.
We could not finish until I knew you were going to be here.
I love it.
And Brett, my co-host, thank you for taking the risk, coming on with me from a random text to be like, hey, do you want to do a live broadcast? We've been live for 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Brother, you ask me, you just call me and I'm there.
And the best part of my day, as we sign off, is when I walked in and saw there was a king bed, and that's all there was in the room. So thank you, Brett. Nothing shows friendship like that. So I hope all of you have enjoyed this 2 hours and 20 minutes of live broadcasting. We'll be back here tomorrow. For those of you who haven't had a chance to check out the sessions, go to fetc.org, see all the great work that Jen Wombold has put together. Follow her. She's amazing. We'll catch up with you tomorrow at the event and right back here, 6 p.m. tomorrow night.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Hey. See you, everybody. Brett, thank you so much.
I got a hug.